Hello and welcome to build up to a friendly game, the last one of pre-season as West Ham United take on Celta Vigo in the Betway Cup. Kick-off at 3 o'clock, so half an hour away for kick-off at the London Stadium. Let's jump straight into West Ham's starting 11 and Lopetegui's final team, and it's a lot more serious and a lot more senior today. In goal is Areola with Vladimir Sufal right back, Konstantinos Mavropanos and Max Kilman at centre-back with Emerson left-back. Souček partners new boy Rodriguez in midfield. Jared Bones on the right and captain. Michael Antonio is up front. And then one of Kudus and Paquetas and the number 10. The other one's to the left. But that's what we'll discuss in just a second. But Gonzo, that's your starting 11.
Yeah, I think the thing that jumped out at me almost immediately was Ward-Prowse out and Souček in. I think that's really interesting. Don't read too much into preseason friendlies yet, I know, but I'm going to anyway because it's now starting to get serious. That may well be a little indication there of perhaps what he's planning to do. The big one actually is you think of all those players that we signed the other day. Basically, I know. Somerville was a little bit before, a couple of days before, but I sort of bunched Somerville, Fulkrug and Rodriguez all in together. Out of those three, Rodriguez is starting. That's quite key. So really interesting, actually. Really, really interesting. I've got to get Rodriguez up to speed because he's there to cover, at the very least, to cover for Edson Alvarez. Some people would say, such as yourself, Jay, you think you might even be battling for that starting spot even when Alvarez is is fit. So they had to get him involved. This is quite exciting, very incredibly exciting day, actually, given all the news. And you've got this team now. I can't wait, actually, really can't wait.
Yeah, no surprises, really. I think the Souček and Ward-Prowse one, I'm not really buying too much into that or reading too much into it. I think I still suspect we will see Ward-Prowse next week against Aston Villa. It's still the mad thing is that's maybe if we were playing a competitive game, that might actually be the team he goes with. But what's wild is Wan-Bissaka and Todibo are going to be in there next weekend, and it might also be Fulkrug might come in as well. But
sure.
Even if he was to stick with Antonio and Souček, there's still two changes to be made, which just goes to show how strong this transfer window has been for West Ham United. But for those that's tuning in and unaware, Fabrizio Romano has done a here we go on the signing of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, £15 million transfer fee. It will cost West Ham United, as confirmed by the Athletics football correspondent David Ornstein. So two very reliable sources there, 15 million fee for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but he's also done a here we go on Mazraoui. Why is that vital? Because Man U are only going to let Wan-Bissaka go if they can get Mazraoui. So that one's going ahead. Wan-Bissaka is on his way to West Ham, and I believe the medical is booked for tomorrow. So Wan-Bissaka's medical will be tomorrow. So this is exciting times for West Ham United. But before we do the Wan-Bissaka stuff, we've got a game to get through today. If you're wanting to watch it live and you're in the UK, you can watch it on West Ham United's YouTube channel. If you're abroad, you still may be able to access it. I do not know. However, if you cannot access it and you live abroad, go and check out Celta Vigo's YouTube channel because it's been broadcast on there as well. So everybody and anybody should be able to get this game for free this afternoon. Kickoff 25 minutes away. Anyone in particular looking forward to seeing Gonzo, or is it just the Rodriguez show for the first half?
I think so. That's good. It's good to watch there. Be a little bit more competitive, obviously, slightly stiffer opposition. Nothing wrong with Crystal Palace and Wolves, of course. It could, Crystal Palace could be very, very good this season. So, it's going to be interesting to see that. I'm interested to see the positioning, as you say, what's going to happen with Rodriguez, what's going to happen with Kudus, what's going to happen with Paquetá. We know exactly what David Moyes would have done in this one. It's going to be quite telling. And I'm also really interested to see a very fit and a very motivated Michail Antonio, it's not like Michail Antonio's not got a point to prove, far from it, but he's got direct competition. Now, you sort of got the impression, particularly with Scamacca, and I don't know if you remember at the comments about, he alluded to the fact that feeding off Scrap's comments, if you remember them from Antonio, alluded to the fact that maybe Scamacca wasn't the right striker for David Moyes. Well, Scamacca wasn't the right striker for David Moyes, of course. I do wonder if he's probably looking at it now thinking, this is the guy. He probably wasn't too bothered that Danny Ings was going to take his place. We've got a very, very motivated Mikel Antonio in our hands. That's going to be good. And, be great to see Bowen. I'm just naming the whole team. It looks like a good team, doesn't it? It looks like a great team.
You never mentioned Souček. Does that mean you hate Souček?
That's right. I haven't mentioned the academy youngsters. Obviously, don't like youth players either, do I? So, yeah.
I'm glad Fuchs's not starting. I know you'd be doing German accent impressions again.
Well, that upset someone, didn't it?
Yeah, someone was upset with you. Oh, and me. I joined in as well.
I know.
Mocking accents. We weren't mocking. We didn't say it was a bad accent. We just tried to do German accent.
I take it they don't like impressions or anything like that. They don't do any. Yeah. Probably won't go for a drink with that guy, to be honest.
You have just for clarity, you have my permission to continue to mock me for being Scottish throughout the entire season.
Thank you. Hey.
There you go. So it's live on West Ham's YouTube channel for everybody. By the looks of it, there's Norwegians, Greek, Australians in the live chat saying they can all, well, they might not be those nationalities. Apologies if I've just mocked your nationality there. They're all based over there anyway, but they can all access it for free. So everybody should be able to get it on West Ham United's YouTube channel. But please do stick with us as well. Load the game up on your telly, but on your phone, on your tablet, have this watch along. Keep us company, because myself and Gonzo are here for a bit, and then Nick will be doing the watch along, and he needs practice. Nick needs training. So the best way to give him training is you guys giving him a bit of stick in the live chat.
You see him laughing.
Yeah, he's laughing in the green room, and he's giving us both the finger as well.
It's more than a finger.
We've got
he's doing a Nescafe thing.
We've got a volatile colleague to replace him. Charlie, by the looks of it, maybe he's doing that to Lopetegui.
Let's just run aside from the obvious Simpsons stuff. So I mean, you could call him that. What did somebody call him?
There was 4 names. So he got called Homer Simpson
because it's a very yellow hue to the. He's got. I don't know if he's got a yellow filter or whatever. There's something going on with his lighting. So any Simpson, Marge is probably better.
So he had Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
He got called Chris Martin, the Coldplay singer.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis.
Of course.
And I can't remember if it was a Wish.com Ian Dowie or a Jaundice Ian Dowie. It was one of the two.
Are you allowed? Are we allowed? Is that just impressions, or are you not allowed to make references to other people? Are you not allowed to look like anyone else either? I'm not sure what the rules are.
I'm unsure, but he's
not allowed to look like a Bruce, and he's non-violent Bruce Willis, basically.
He looked like a violent one there. I was waiting for the hippie Kaye. Anyway, AS, we've got
he's definitely sat on something. Yeah,
we've got the West Ham bench for you. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Also, drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up. It helps us out. And this is the bench for West Ham. We've got Fabianski and Herrick as the 2 goalkeepers on there. Adam Creswell on there alongside Nathan Gerd as well as Casey. The midfielders, we've got Freddie Potts with Irving and Ward-Prowse and George Earthby. We've also got Kone, Somerville, and Kadua as well as Guilherme. So a lot of wingers, although I suspect Kadua will be the substitute right back for the second half. And then we've got Danny Ings and Niklas Füllkrug. So 1 or 2 of the youngsters have left the first team now. No Lewis Orford. Obviously, Patrick Kelly's gone out on loan. Callum Marshall's gone out on loan as well. Ollie Skiles has been removed from the senior squad. So we've cut back on some of the youngsters, but quite a healthy bench, I think, Gonzo. There's a lot of talent on there.
There is, but we've got ample bench. I wonder if the London Stadium has the biggest race. It's almost like a stadium in itself. Like my local football club has got less tiers than the West Ham bench has got on it. So we need it for all those players. I'm happy with that. There's some really, even that is looking for players that you're looking forward to. Hold on. Where's Wes?
Yeah, Wes was absent in the previous game as well.
Well, I noticed that, of course.
So that's 2 games in a row we've had no League One Wes. He must be injured because
it's not on. I'm not happy about it.
The good thing is,
he should be started. This is crazy stuff. Craziness.
Well, this will be his 4th game. He's not conceded a goal.
Clean sheet, Wes.
He did concede against Wolves. The ball got smashed past him twice.
It wasn't his fault.
But apart from we ignore the Wolves game,
pitch and the stuff, and they had those bad gloves on and stuff.
Jordan Herrick is the goalkeeper. He's a goalkeeper. He's part of the reason why West Ham allowed Knightsbridge in particular to go this summer, but also Anang and Trot, because they have belief that Herrick will go on and become good at West Ham. And obviously we retained Heggie, who's out on loan at Motherwell. But Herrick is a goalkeeper. He's a goalkeeper, and as Peter said, he was in goal when we beat Crystal Palace in training match. None of us were allowed to watch. So,
that's right.
There you go. Anyway, we've got just under 20 minutes till kick-off. Let me just pop the first team back up because somebody will ask what it is in a second. And while we're doing that, let's just introduce your watch-long host for the afternoon. It's John Dessy and Dowie. It's Chris Martin. It's Bruce Willis. Do you have a particular favourite nickname, Nick?
Thank you. I mean, just the general kind of atmosphere of welcome is nice enough. Just the strong suggestion that I need all the practice I can get, that I look horribly discoloured and or disfigured. So yeah, I mean, I guess Christmas is not too far away. I think like leadership for dummies might be winging its way.
Motivational speaking, you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like how to welcome someone to, let's call it, a new job. Even though it's not a job, it's a great pleasure.
Well, we only had one applicant, Nick, to be fair.
Yeah, well, that was it. It was best of a bad bunch because there was no alternatives.
No.
It was this or actually Chris Martin and Bruce Willis.
He really is yellow. He sings about being yellow, actually, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, it works. It works together. I mean, people are basically saying that I'm talented and strong. So yeah, I'll take that.
Anyway, Nick, let's turn it to West Ham. Then you've seen the team there. Is there anyone in particular you're keen to see this afternoon?
Well, anyone new? I mean, the first question on my mind, I suppose, like others in the chat, is why Souček? Maybe that's a shop window kind of thing to say, well, no, he is a starter, so he will like command a price. But I mean, obviously, we've all been very rightly excited by everyone that's come through the door. But then you forget the players that we have. So just seeing Paquetá on the ball on a football pitch as opposed to somewhere he shouldn't be. Just seeing Jared Bowen, just remembering that, we already have Jared Bowen. So, and I love Jared Bowen. I will just, unabashedly, completely love him. So just seeing him on the ball again on the pitch, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Gonzo, what comment have you just seen? Because you're snickering at something. And
I haven't. It's just the fact that I thought Nick basically curtailed himself there, and he basically said, Lucas Paquetá, I'd be nice to see him on a football pitch rather than in a betting shop, but he didn't say that.
I mean, lots of places that he could be, but the gods are with us, so he's a free man.
Yes, they are, at least till January.
This is good. This is a cuddle from the Hammers chat subscribers. Is what you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, it's just thank you for this. I'm in a hotel room, which is why I just have like I'm not in a photo booth. I'm in a 1980s photo booth with one of those weird curtains.
He's travelled in time. He's travelled in time.
Thank you to JJ for the £5 super chat. Much appreciated. He says, and possibly for the final time, I'm sure Gonzo's got one more in him. Who's Zuma wife? I'm going to defend the inclusion of Thomas Souček. Now, before someone speaks, it doesn't mean I want to see him start against Aston Villa. I'm away to defend this. Thomas Souček and Vladimir Sufal obviously arrived late to pre-season because of their participation in the Euros. So they've not really had a full pre-season yet. And I don't think they've had a full opportunity to impress Lopetegui. And I like the fact that he's given the majority of the players, but actually all the players, a fair crack at impress and say, come on, man, let's see what you've got. He hasn't been good so far in pre-season, but I think if you put him in front of Mavropanos and Kilman, next to Rodriguez, behind Paquetá and Bowen, and he still doesn't get on okay today, Souček's almost got no defence now. I'd be like, well, look, you're in among the first team and you're struggling, so there's not much we can do here other than look to take you out to some extent. Ward-Prowse has had plenty of minutes pre-season. Souček hasn't, and I think it's a good opportunity for him. Like I said, doesn't mean I want to see him start against Aston Villa. I just understand why Lopetegui's put him in. The thing that I'm looking forward to seeing the most today is where Kudus and Paqueta start. Which one's slightly to the left and which one's in that number 10 role? I would prefer Kudus in the 10 and Paqueta slightly to the left. However, I think it'll be the other way around. I think Kudus will be on the left and Paqueta will be in the middle. Gonzo, what would you like to see and what do you think you'll see?
I'd like to see him surprise Zorma and put Paqueta on the right, Bowen on the left, and Kudus through the middle. No, I think
you say that you wouldn't. You'd moan about it.
No, it was a joke. Yeah, it was obviously a joke. But I would prefer Paqueta like the same as yourself. What do I think we'll see? I hope we see that. I don't want to see Kudus on the left. I think he is much diminished. Whereas I don't think, particularly in this system, I don't think Paqueta's that much diminished. I think you get the give and go and the 1-2s with Emerson on the left. That partnership, you could sort of rekindle that. And if we're assuming that the width is going to be given by the fullbacks, then actually he's tucked in a little bit more anyway. It's really important that I feel Kudus has the opportunity to shoot with his strongest foot.
Yeah.
And that's lessened the wider left he plays. Put him in the middle. I mean, it could be really, really exciting, actually.
Next, same question, discussion.
I'm quite happy that I don't know what we will see, because that's part of the excitement to see what a skilled head coach will do. And I don't know the answer because I like to see Paqueta in the middle. I know we had games last season where it did and didn't work. When Paqueta started left in the first half, drifted in for the second half, and I think we only just made that kind of switch from first half to second half, like through the season. We were already halfway through the season, so I think the opposition wasn't expecting it. Another reason why it worked really well. So will that happen again to maybe get the best of both worlds? Because I just think it's those passes. It's Paqueta in the middle gives him that ability to play those amazing passes forward. And if he's on the left, I always get worried for no reason because he is a professional athlete, but I'm worried he's going to be too tired out if he's on the wing. And depending on what happens in the game, the opposition are then like pushing back. Does he have to do too much defending and moving to then, is that going to take away from him in the second half? But yeah, like I say, I'm actually more excited to see what will happen.
Right, then we're going to turn to the live chat now. Please get your thoughts coming in. Keep it about West Ham. I'm not going to click on any comments regarding Celta Vigo because the truth is, I don't know if you're telling the truth or if you're trolling. So if you said, "Oh, this player for Celta Vigo is really good," I don't know. You could just make up a name and hoping that we're going to click on it, read it out, and it's going to say a rude phrase. Me and Gonzo have fallen for them before.
Plenty of times.
So we ain't clicking on any Celta Vigo comments, but get your thoughts into anything regarding West Ham, and let's see what you're all saying. Stockman says, I really hope Bowen's captaincy doesn't weigh on in the same way it seems to have done with Harry Maguire. Hope he's strong enough to thrive through it. Mancunian says, giving him the captain's armband will make him be the making of him. He'll grow into it. He knows he's a star. There's every right to dish out the bollockings when needed. What do you make of Bowen as captain, Nick?
Sorry, I was just brushing through some insults in the chat and I've got butt plugs in my ears. I'm very happy with Bowen as captain because as I said, I love Bowen. I love him. I want him to do well. I wish him the best. He will be a great captain. Yes, of course, you hope that it doesn't disturb him, like, mentally, because it's just might not seem like a thing. You just say someone's a captain doesn't mean anything, but it's obviously that mentality or mindset shift that he might feel that, he's got that more responsibility to be a bit more vocal and this and that. But then I guess he's more than proven himself. And at least if, not only with performances, but with the actual stats and numbers, goals last year. So yeah, he was my choice. So yeah, I'm very happy with it.
10 men, we can make as many subs as we want. It's a friendly. You can sub them all on. Well, not all at once, obviously. You can only have 11 on the pitch, but you can do as many substitutions. Peter says it's a chance to experiment with formations during the game before the big match next weekend. John thinks you've got black wine gums in your ears. Jordan says having the option to put him, whether it be Paqueta or Kudus, through the middle and Somerville on the left is absolutely massive. Webley said it's good to see the Teletubbies son baby all grown up.
This is the last. I mean, I'm very happy that so many people care about just my skin color and curtain behind me. I don't really have that level of attention in life usually, but this is a hotel room. I will be back in a normal building in which I live next week, and then you'll just have to think up
with a
new
normal
songs,
life, presumably.
Yeah, but that gives people a new chance to come up with some fresh material. So I look forward to that.
Mandy says our best starting 11 consists of 9 international players. Trying to think which 2 are it. And Kilman obviously isn't, and I think the rest of them are, aren't they? I guess it depends what you think the starting 11 is, but I would assume most people have Alvarez next to Rodriguez, both internationals. Keta, Bowen, Kudus, internationals. Fulkrug, international. Wan-Bissaka. There you go. Wan-Bissaka's the other one.
He's international. He's played for 2 countries. He's a proper. He's twice the international of anybody else.
He's a Declan Rice.
He has, definitely.
So there you go. That's a 2. Leo says he would have loved Alvarez as captain because of the passion and leadership. Also, because Bowen could have been a great. You might still get that though, Leo, because
that's true.
I assume not. I imagine it is Bowen. But
that would have been my choice as well. Exactly what he said then. Exactly what Leonardo said. Exactly that. Yeah, because I think he would get plenty of games to still bow him because he's because Alvarez is naughty.
Chippy said might be a 4-2-2-2, giving Soufal and Emerson a freedom to bomb on with a defensive box to back up a front attacking box, with Bowen and Antonio ahead of Kudus and Paqueta.
We're going to be arguing about formations like never before under this manager. We all knew what we've got. We all knew what we were getting, right? And if David Moyes switched anything, it was so evident and noticeable. I do think this. I won't particularly be arguing vociferously on this because I don't. Number one, I don't care. Number two, I'm just not that tactically observant anyway. But I do think there's going to be a lot of people saying, "Oh, that was a 3 at back. Well, that was a 4 at back. Oh no, that was a 4-2-3-1. Oh no, that was I think you'll find it was a 4-1-2-1-2 or whatever." I think there's going to be a lot of that this season, which should be fun.
There was a lot of it last week when me and Charlie, whether it was 4 at the back or 3 at the back, we're just arguing on that. It wasn't even the rest of the team. It was literally just how many defenders were we playing. And half the chat agree with Charlie and half of it agree with me.
Well, look, if we don't know, hopefully the opposition don't know.
Yeah,
I think Lopetegui does, though.
I about to say the problem was Alan Cresswell didn't know either, and he was playing.
That's right.
That was the issue.
Yeah.
Ross says Alvarez might be off next season, so Bowen makes sense. I think that's a fair comment. I think that's a fair observation. Jonathan says backline won't be set yet, as Wan-Bissaka and Todibo will not be available. Also, will Lopetegui want to nudge or give clues to Villa before the game? I assume it will be random and tell us nothing. I don't know about random. I think that's a bit.
Well, I think there's a toss up there, isn't there? What you do? Yeah, I mean, you can be totally secret squirrel, all cloak and dagger, and not reveal anything. But then, if you do that, then you're not really building a cohesive team together, and you're not building up that understanding between the players that's going to allow them to thrive. So the players do need to practice at some point in their favoured formation and in something akin to the starting 11. I think that much is the case.
GSB is looking forward to seeing the style of play. Bill's excited for the game. I have to admit, actually, this friendly has got a little twinge of excitement. I wasn't looking forward to the last two. First of all, the Wolves game was so delayed. I was just pissed off and tired by the time it kicked off.
Yeah.
And then the second one, sort of the team wasn't that inspired. I was looking forward to seeing Bowen and Paqueta, and the team come out, and neither of them were playing. So I was a bit.
I'll tell you what, I got to say, you and Frankie did well on that first one. Well, and that very wise, Nick, very wise to dodge that one. That Wolves game, it has to be said. Oh my word, what a marathon that was.
Beneath the headphones said it looks like there's about 4,000. Yeah, it's a bit sparse. The crowd is a little bit sparse for today. I think they've what's the word? Allocated 12,000 tickets for today's game. They haven't all been purchased, I believe. The club have given a lot away. But this is good. They've given a lot to community. I'm not going to dismiss that, but they've had to bump up the numbers a little bit, and it's still looking quite sparse because of the unofficial boycott Betway Cup campaign.
Can you have an official? Can there be an official boycott?
Well, it was on this one. I think the official one is maybe when everybody comes together and says, this is what we're going to do. That's what I would see as an official one. But this was started by someone on Twitter called, as far as I'm aware, someone called Chris Harris, who is a subscriber of ours, and he's very prominent on Twitter, goes to every West Ham game. And the club just announced it. Oh, we're playing Celta Vigo. And he replied straight away, and he had a little graphic made up, very basic. It says, boycott Betway Cup. Said, no, we're going to boycott.
I just saw Chris's tweet earlier. He was ended up going to the game.
I don't think he would have done.
It's a joke. It's another one. Second one.
Everybody then started going, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to boycott this game as well. I don't have an issue with anybody that went, by the way. Some of my friends are at this game because they're taking their kids. So they're thinking I'm taking them. I can't afford to take them to the Premier League one. So this is the one I can.
That's it. We're boycotting a game because the Premier League games are really, really expensive. And the one game that people probably can go to is this one.
That's why I found this one conflicting. Ian, we're watching it on West Ham official YouTube channel. It's free. Everybody can access it. Just go to the West Ham channel and you'll be able to watch it. But put on your telly and keep us on your device. Stick with us. Keep us company. Stuart, the boycott is due to the increase or the removal, rather, of the concession tickets next season. The season tickets concessions have been removed, but also for the matches next season. So if you're wanting to take your kids to the Aston Villa game and the Man City game, you're looking around about nearly 300 quid for a family of four just to attend that one game
without travel.
Yeah, that's just for the entry into the stadium.
That's just for the hot dog.
Someone posted on our Patreon earlier that they were there. There's no one at the bar. Nobody. There's more staff than people, and they still got his order wrong. So he's thinking, can we just bloody buy this stadium because I'm fed up now of this.
He probably bought a stadium for less than the beer.
Yeah, thank you, Stockman, for the super chat. He says, I think Betway's a great sponsor, one of the few that isn't intrusive on the shirt and not painfully ugly. He's not wrong. They don't mind their sponsor being changed. You know, the white shirt had a black sponsor, didn't it?
Yeah.
So on and so forth. But anyway, Gonzo, listen, it's time for you to go and watch the game.
I'm going to go watch the game.
And Gonzo will be back tomorrow with his... because he's back later tonight on the forum channel with a little bit of Wan-Bissaka news. But tomorrow you'll be able to catch Gonzo's review on the forum channel at lunchtime. Gonzo, enjoy the match.
Good luck, Nick. Cheers, Geo.
Right, thanks. Nick, are you ready for me to hand it over to you?
Yeah, as long as my internet from my side holds up. So don't go far in case I freeze or
I'll
just
tell
turn
you what.
into
I'll stick around. Nick, because it's friendly, I'll keep you company.
Oh, thanks so much. Thank you.
Can't
Thank
say
you.
Don't say I'm not kind.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the vote of confidence that I sorely needed at this point.
Yeah. Mancunian saying, will we qualify for European football? Would you reckon?
Yes.
The problem is, right, my Mrs. Geo calls me Mr. Technical, and it irritates me. To sum it up, we went to a quiz. It was a pub quiz, and the question was, how deep is the Atlantic Ocean? Now, obviously, you just guess, but I had to answer it with a question. So I said, well, which part of the Atlantic Ocean? And the quizmaster said, look, how deep is the Atlantic Ocean? So I put on the beach less than 1 meter, and he said I was wrong. Now, I am saying I am correct with that. He never specified which part of the Atlantic Ocean. It's not just flat on the bottom, is it? Do you know what I mean? He didn't say which is the deepest part or what's the... So anyway,
I suppose.
got
I mean,
around.
yeah, like, you know, the world needs all types of people in theory. So, and diversity and all that. I guess we need pedants. I don't know if that's actually true. But yeah, some people might say we need what I guess that Quizmaster would have called an annoying twat when he got home at the
I'm
end of the day.
aware I'm an annoying twat, though, Nick. It's not something I'm unaware of. I'm very aware, but just like clarification. However, Leo, yes, here's another annoying twat. Leo must be an annoying twat because this is my response. Qualifying for European football. We don't know what that is. As it is right now, top 4 is Champions League and 5th is Europa League, and that's it. That's all it is right now. So I'm going to say no. Because I don't think we'll get top 5. So I'm going to say no. However, should we get the additional Champions League spots? Should a team in the top 5 or 6 win the Conference League? Win the Carabao Cup and FA Cup? Yes, I think we'll finish in the top 8. So it depends on.
I mean, you get to Europe for, you know, winning a cup, and that's a dream that I will hold on to.
I think we might win.
Seconds that it doesn't take place.
I think we've got a good chance of winning the trophy this season, and I would like to see us prioritise it as well. I think even if it's a Carabao Cup, I don't care. I would like to see us win something. So, anyway, the game's kicked off now, and Mikel Antonio's just run down the channel and got the ball popped out for a throw in. So it's just 30 seconds in. Is your game up and running, Nick? Just to make sure that we.
Yes, I'm on 38, 9, 40 seconds as we speak.
There we go. Soufal's just giving it back to Paqueta, who's playing quite central. So it looks like Kudus will be on the left and Paqueta is in the central position today. And it's the first time, of course, we're getting to see Paqueta and Bowen in a West Ham shirt pre-season, and Rodriguez making his first appearance for us as well after signing at the start of the week. Do you know much about Rodriguez, or are you a bit like some of us, which is waiting to find out?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him more in the West Ham training videos than I've actually seen him play in his career. I did notice, like, we did try and attack from second number 1, which is nice to see. Like, hopefully that's something that they've been told to do rather than just get the ball and then bugger around with it at the back. Although that's what we're now doing, but we seem quite keen to move it forward.
Right then, we're just knocking around at the back at the minute. Kilman back to Paqueta in the left back position as he's dropped back to collect the ball. Linking up well with Emerson as always. I have missed that partnership at times last season, but they've gave the ball away between them, and Celta Vigo come forward. But
yeah, difficult to see about what is happening with the midfield yet. I mean, Kudus was on the left then.
He still is.
But
I think Paqueta's just got like a free role, really.
Yeah. I mean, he's Brazil's number 10, so that would make sense that he's been given that trust.
Anyway, 2 minutes in, and we've got Paqueta rolling around on the deck to win a free kick. Fantastic. New season, same Paqueta. David, we are live. Yes, we're live. And Richard, you can watch it on West Ham's YouTube channel. Just type in West Ham Celta Vigo on YouTube and you'll be able to access it. But like I said, if you could pop that on your telly and watch us on your device, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
Nice
so down the right here.
By Kilman.
Important game for Soufal today, Nick, with Adam Wan-Bissaka set to join us in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I still think Soufal could actually, do what is needed under this new regime, new tactics, new everything. I know he has his off days. I'm aware of that, but if the Wan-Bissaka thing has yet another twist after it's had this many twists already, I would still be happy with Soufal as well.
Good to see, Charlie's. We're in agreement today, Charlie. It is a back 4 for West Ham after our 45-minute disagreement last week. 1 in the morning with Charlie, just disagreeing. It's back 3, back 4. Live chat split between us. Celta Vigo come forward again down the left-hand side, and man for penalty. Well, Souček and man for penalties made that look a little bit more difficult than required, but we're trying to play it out from the back again, which is Ad with ball, but Caduceus conceded the ball, and Areola with a save. Something I think we're going to see quite a bit of this season, Nick, when we get to grips with this play out from the back rather than clear your lines.
Yeah, I mean, like the question of why is Souček here, I can only think and hope it's a shop window thing just to get Souček on the pitch if we're trying to offload him. I don't know why else, unless it's just, like you don't want to show Villa maybe our hand, or like why else would you not start Ward-Prowse as well? I mean, obviously it could be like tiny things or fitness or lots of things we don't know, but just thinking of just the kind of the impact of a weak link, which is what Souček is, and of course he has his value. Of course he won us a lot of points last season with all those late goals, but it's such a weak link. Just because he can't pass the ball 10 yards, he can't take it and turn around 180 degrees. So
he just did a good pass there 30 seconds ago out to Caduceus, to be fair. Rodriguez with the ball cut out, but West Ham have got it back now, just inside Celta Vigo's half. We're just playing around. We're being patient. We're just being patient. Celta Vigo seeming a bit more snappy on the counter attack when they're picking the ball out. Souček with another long ball out to the left side this time.
It's because I've said it now. He's spraying it around. Nice little exchange there, as always. Paqueta and Emerson, best mates. That was lovely.
Paqueta again with another. Oh, that's lovely to Bowen. It's 1-0 West Ham.
Fantastic.
Jared Bowen with a goal. That is fantastic.
That's lovely. That was really close to the Manu pass and finish. Not far off.
Lovely. Paqueta tried a pass like this for Antonio literally a minute ago, and it got cut out. Gets the ball, gets his head up. Bowen makes a run. Lovely ball over the top of the Celta Vigo defence. Bowen takes it down well and finishes even better, actually. On quite a tight angle in a very constrained space, but fantastic pass by Paqueta.
I mean, that's why he's got to be in the middle to make those passes.
The first touch from Jared Bowen was just fantastic.
Yeah. Lovely goal.
One thing you'll learn about me, Nick, is I'm a big fan of a pass. The assist. I like a good assist. That was a good assist. I like it. I do like it. Like the goal we conceded against Wolves a couple of weeks ago, that cross from Pedro Lima. I thought it was fantastic. I love a good assist. But there you go. Paqueta doing his thing. Jared Bowen doing his thing. 5 minutes in, West Ham 1-0 up. It's 7 minutes on the clock, but we scored a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, so it would look like, I mean, it hasn't been out on the left that much, but then it would look like when we're defending, Kudus has been told to go out left. I did also read today that Celta Vigo also won the Intertoto Cup in 2002 or 3 or something. So this is obviously the Intertoto Cup Winners' Cup that we're about to add to the trophy cabinet at this point.
Lee says, what a pass that is. Magnifico. Ross is saying, Paqueta. Oh my God. Gary, what a beautiful goal. Gary has his own YouTube channel now. A really good YouTube channel as well. Brett says, beautiful goal. Like the man I love. And Red says, we're going to win the league. Richard said he's been missing that from Paqueta. Bill says, that's why we needed him in the middle. James saying, what a ball by Pac-Man, while Mancunian is admiring the pass as well as the first touch from Jared Bowen. Charlie says, turns out that Paqueta is pretty good. And Robert says, the captain has scored. Bill said he just tried a similar thing. Yep, he did. To Antonio, got cut out and bang, and it goes again. Brett's asking who's captain. It's Jared Bowen. He's the skipper this afternoon. Bronson says there's not a defence in the league that will look forward to playing against us. And Carl says elegant goal by our captain. Good start, Nick. I'm pleased because we've had some underwhelming performances in pre-season, and it's not the end of the world, but I think you want a bit of encouragement going into the first game of the season.
Yeah, you got those boxes that need ticking, really. Obviously, especially with strikers, that confidence of just hitting the ground running, being in the right kind of flow of things. I mean, I don't think Bowen would ever be short of confidence, but every little helps. So I guess there's other things we also, if we've seen Captain Bowen off to a flying start for the season, and obviously Paqueta's, assisting already, doing what he's doing. Now I guess it's just up for everyone else. It's kind of like over to the defense almost. Like, yeah, we want to see more goals, and we want to see Antonio's confidence up and this kind of thing. But I guess now clean sheet would be another massive tick.
Mick Mystery says Paqueta in the system could be dangerous, and Collingwood with a lovely little point here. Winning bets on Betway and the Betway Cup, Lucas Paqueta. That would be awkward, wouldn't it? Imagine
somewhat ironic.
Imagine he got to go pick up Betway Cup. I wouldn't be surprised if he lobbed it. Nah, I'm not having a bit of that. Thank you.
Smashes it to the ground.
Yeah.
That would be vengeance.
Playing some lovely stuff.
Is this the last season of Betway on the shirt?
Yeah. I'm pretty certain it's changing anyway. The government regulates. It's the last season of Betway on the front of the shirt. It could be. We might end up seeing Betway on the sleeve or something. You can still have a betting sponsor, just not on the front of the tee, which seems a bit pointless, really.
Yeah, right, it's not exactly much of a switch or a.
Stephen's nervous seeing us passing it around at the back. You'll get used to it. I think I'll be nervous when we're being pressed, but Mav Panos and Kilman have done okay so far. There was just that one shaky moment when Caduce lost the ball, but I think we've been all right, actually. Paqueta's dropping really deep into left back positions to push Emerson forward and then pushes Caduce in field a little bit. I would like to see Caduce maybe making more of the space vacated by Paqueta, because there's a bit of a gap between Owen Caduce and then Antonio in the midfield. That's a bit of an area I wouldn't mind seeing.
I mean, there's a lot of movement. If we're gonna, everything being relative, just could keep comparing things to what we've been seeing for a period of time. There does seem to be. It's just non-stop movement. There's, no one's just standing still. No one's just waiting for it to move in a way they know it's going to move and waiting. Even Souček's moving, which in our midfield we don't often see.
He's looking fine so far, but listen, it's a friendly. Paqueta with a lovely ball to Caduce, who's just a bit unlucky there, Caduce. Bit unlucky.
Yeah, very.
Red 5 says we've got a quality squad, just need to get rid of some dead wood for it to be a perfect window. And Ross asking where Charlie is. Charlie's no longer part of Hammer's chat. Hopefully he will be an occasional guest throughout the season, but he's had to leave. He's announced his new job now. I've had to keep it shatum. It's his news to tell. It's not my news to tell. So I've been waiting for Charlie to tell people what his new job is, but he's joined Analytics United, who you've seen on the channel previously with Jack and Cal. So they've got big plans for the next season, and they poached Charlie. So he's gone over there with a full-time job. It's a fantastic opportunity for him. But he's still around. He's in the live chat. He's not gone completely. He's just not going to be appearing on the screen as a host anymore, unfortunately. So anyway, Charlie has a new gig. That's why we've got Nick. We've recruited Nick and Mark for next season.
Yeah, the opposition, they're not really pressing. Obviously, with us not being experts in Celta Vigo, you don't know at what stage they are, in their pre-season, meaning what are their expectations for the coming season ahead. Because as a general level, they're not too different to us. I mean, if you just look back, they were in Europe every now and then, and in the last 20 years, sometimes they've got to Europa League quarterfinal, once to a semi, I think. But they seem to be quite relaxed about this game.
Look, technically good for Celta Vigo, don't they? They're quite neat and tidy on the ball.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very much a gentle run out for them. Obviously, they're not going to take the piss with it, but I think they're allowing us a nice time on the ball, which is fine. Obviously, no injuries is, again, the main thing. Stadium lower tiers actually seems to have filled up as well.
David says, thinks Souček has been told to play more long balls and short ones that he can't do. 2 good passes so far, more than last season. He's certainly been whacking him out to that left. Bill says, passing around at the back, we're going to come unstuck a few times, but it's risk and reward. Kerry says, good to not be watching a captain toddling along at the back. Beneath the headphones says, any idea who the main keeper will be? Ariola. I think this is quite a significant conclusion today. Brian says, maybe we don't need the magic of a Baby Bell anymore. Maybe we can win using football skills rather than the magic of hard cheeses. There you go. The Baby Bell has been retired with Bevel. John says, this is the West Ham way. If you're listening, Big Sam.
Yeah, or David Moyes.
I wondered if someone was going to say it. So well done, Nick. You were the one that mentioned it.
Yeah, I only knew that Moyes had done that chat with, again, don't even like saying his name, but Simon Jordan. I was just on YouTube and that just popped up. It would have been about a week ago now on that William Hill thing. I can't remember what it's called. From the front or front foot or something or other. Yeah. And it's a video podcast, and then Simon Jordan, another of the old boys network, basically sit there and just spout their opinions with no actual fact or insight. And then Moyes, I'm not sure if slag us off is right, but it was as if he didn't slag us off, it was as close to slagging someone off or a thing or a team as you can get, really. And then he said he didn't know what the West Ham way was, which sticks in your throat, I suppose a bit, if he's going to take that line of things of being a bit, like Richard B says, sour grapes. He's just gone a bit bitter, which is a bit surprised because he could have opted for some form of high road, or even talking about some of the things that he did wrong if he wants to talk about what was wrong. But instead, it was the whole tone is now that, everything he did for us, not anything that we did for him, not about the players that we had. We were one of the favourites to win the Conference League, but just that, he was unfairly treated, so on and so on. Someone also said on one of Gonzo's videos a couple of days ago that they're waiting, they've got a bit of a countdown until Moyes says, now look at the players West Ham have got, and they're being backed a bit more than I was. So I'm just going to watch out if he starts going down that road.
Yeah, I've seen it and I've ignored it because I think it would just annoy me. So I haven't watched it yet because I know fine it would just irritate me. The thing is, I know what's going to happen. It might not be Moyes, but I'm going to call it now that someone like Jim White or something is going to be, if only they gave David Moyes all this money, what could they have achieved and stuff? This big spend up, they'll very much use it as a stick to beat West Ham with because Moyes could have had this back in, etc., etc. But I've tried to stay away from it. As far as I'm concerned, Moyes is gone. I'm really looking forward to the new season, and that's that really. So I'm trying to just cut them out a little bit. Old man says Piquet has some able runners and good movement in front of him, and he can find a pass.
Everything. I can't believe that Rodriguez has only been with us for a matter of minutes at this point. He looks like he's been with that team for years.
Matty said, West Ham playing neat, tidy, sexy football. What am I seeing? Kudus had a very ambitious effort there, just across the face of the goal. And hello, Ray. Hope you are well. Devious, it's 1-0 West Ham. I've updated the banner now. So it's 1-0 West Ham. Bowen scored in the 5th minute. Bill says not really up to speed, is he? Which is a bit concerning since he will already know about the team. Surely played against him a few times in regards to Rodriguez. I think he's doing okay, Rodriguez, actually. I think he's getting involved and dropping back. I think Caduce is looking good. Devious, you can watch on West Ham's YouTube channel. Just check out West Ham's official YouTube channel. It's there. It's free to watch. People worldwide can access it. It's not restricted to just the UK. But some good stuff from West Ham. I think Souček's playing well. I think Paqueta's playing just unbelievable, really. It's only a friendly, but it's hard not to get excited when you're seeing them just pass it around like this and all the movement. I think they've looked really good so far. Here's Caduce again.
Yeah.
Shielded out for West Ham.
Montana had a good question asking when Somerville plays, who misses out, which is just exciting to think now we've got that quality both off the bench and also rotation. Because obviously as we start the season, we just think about the number of games coming out, first, second, third, and this and that. But then obviously it doesn't take much for either small injury, yellow card suspension, the cups coming in, and then inevitable just fatigue and knackeredness when you get after January as well.
Yeah, I've never been... Okay, keep your eyes on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a goal. So, Nick, time for you to focus, my friend, because there's been a goal at the London Stadium. And we'll talk you through it now. I don't know who picked that up for Celta Vigo. They come down the right-hand side. Ball in. Come across the back post. Away by Soufal. And lovely finish. And it's 1-1. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, 1-1.
I think we had it. Yeah, we had it a bit easy. I think we just had so much possession. Emerson just allowed he put his hands behind his back and just allowed the cross to come in. And then I'm not really sure on first viewing whether that was just a bit of bad luck that
they've actually got away fans.
Kind of, yeah.
Them to have any.
Lady at the back's full of tattoos. But yeah, it's, just letting the crossing like that. I think Emerson maybe was just getting a bit too relaxed, and then central defenders watched it. Soufal tried to get something on it, and it just brushed off his head. He's got about the same amount of hair as I have, so yeah, it was just he tried. Soufal tried to clear it, but it just so happened that the opposition player was right there.
Right, let me just update my wee banner.
If you want anyone, I guess, to do better out of that situation, it's really Emerson. Quality player that he is, but he just stood back a few yards with his hands behind his back, which is not really a great way to stop a cross coming in.
And then he sort of ducks as well. I think that's the worst thing. I don't like it when a player moves their body out of the way when it might hit them.
Yeah, I think, like I say, we've just been relaxed passing it around. I don't know why you wouldn't get tight on the right winger, but I'm sure Emerson could talk a lot more about being a fullback than any of us could. But yeah, didn't get tight.
Mancunian says we still cannot defend, while Ross is saying with Emerson stood off him. Devious says a poor goal concede. Montana's not happy with Mavropanos. Vale says we could get top 6, finish above Man United and Chelsea. Chalice is asking what Soufal's doing. Timmy pointing out it took a nick off Rodriguez as it went past Areola. Brett saying Soufal got in the way of Areola. Matty thinks Soufal should have done a bit better as well. Old man says Mavropanos not as good as most think. Charlie says we've been giving up a lot of chances down that side, reminiscent of the Wolves game where it was constant. Mancunian said Emerson allowed the cross and Soufal fluffed the clearance. Again, Sean saying another mistake by Soufal, but Paul says you can't really blame Soufal. Personally, don't really blame Soufal too much either. It was a really awkward one for him to deal with. I'm a bit like Nick. Emerson just gave his man 5 yards there to get to pick his cross and put it in. It's a bit of an awkward one for Soufal.
Bit of a wake-up call for Kilman. or either of the central defenders, really. If that's about to happen, I'm not quite sure why they wouldn't prepare themselves and just, be a bit aggressive, get there first.
24 minutes gone, and it's a water break at the London Stadium. 1-1. Jared Bowen with opener for West Ham, and Ristic with the goal for Celta Vigo just a handful of minutes ago. David says Emerson's a poor defender, fine going forward, but a liability if we have a lot of attackers. Ionic says Mavropanos is a level below where we want to be, just squad player. Gary says Emerson is half-hearted. Once the ball comes in, anything can happen. J. Lo will deal with him later. Montana says, with Steiden, I'm not worried until January. If Emerson regresses, we shall go in for a young left-back. Tim and Lopetegui ain't carrying anyone. Charlie said, I'm happy so far. Lots of like. Having most of our first team on the pitch really is night and day going forward. Get your thoughts in, ladies and gentlemen, regarding the first 25 minutes of action at the London Stadium, as it's 1-1 between West Ham and Celta Vigo in the Betway Cup. Paqueta's impressing me, Nick.
Just watching the replay of the goal. I don't think
it gets worse every time you watch it. So
yeah, I mean, I know I saw, because there was the Kilman goal in the Wolves game. It might have been the Palace game, because they're both kind of blurring into one. Where Kilman was a bit weak for it, and I'm very reluctant to say anything negative about Kilman at this point. But you watch his positioning there.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine. I'm just going to go with blind optimism. It will be fine come next week.
What I will say, that's the Premier League, and they don't score that. I think there's a penalty for Mavropanos holding on to that striker that came across him, nearly got on the end of it. I think was it Charlie, what number is Aspas? I know Aspas is playing. Is he 7 or 10? I'm not clued up enough on the Celta Vigo players. Is he number 7? If so, it was him that got hauled down. Old man said Antonio isn't linking up much. Fulkrug will get the wingers attacking more. I have to agree. With that one. Antonio's been a bit scarce in this game. Mancunian saying just shows you can play beautiful football, score a lovely goal, but none of it matters. You can't defend. Get those new signings into the team. I think we found Lopetegui's burner account. Souček just travelling with the ball, laid it back to Max Kilman and out to Emerson as we have the ball just inside Celta Vigo's half.
Yeah, I think the good thing is that we know what we've got to work on. Attack is just give the players the ball, and something's going to happen with the players that we've got. So I guess, like, worst case scenario, that every game we just have to do the whole I was close back at this there. We have to do the whole, we'll just score more goals than they will frame of mind.
I like it. I want a bit of that though.
With the players that we've got, they're incredible, like, going forward, so why not?
Just to confirm, Devious Fulkrug is on the bench. A bit of an opportunity there for West Ham. Bowen slid it into Kudus, but it was good goalkeeping. But Celta Vigo were on the counter-attack, but they sort of slowed their own counter-attack down. But they've spent up again as they're breaking down the right-hand side. He's well offside, but it's an overhit pass anyway. Surely he was offside. Linesman says no. Linesman says Gio is wrong. Ball in. Ariola could have caught it, but decided to punch it. Poor communication at the back there. Bowen's away, gets pulled back. That's frustrating, really. I know it's when they're friendly, but in Premier League, that's a booking. That is what I would describe, before Charlie says it in live chat, that is what I would describe as a sensational yellow, stopping Bowen breaking, but nothing given in the old defender.
I think I'd say Rodriguez is my player of the first 27 minutes. I like everything that he's done. I like when he's on the ball and when he's off the ball. Even when he's off the ball, he seems to be confident. He knows where to go. It's the complete opposite of Souček, which it sounds like I'm just...
That's harsh. Souček's been fine. He's been... I think he's been fine.
Yeah, but that's not good enough. I think that's kind of what I'm saying. And when they're attacking, he just never looks like he quite knows where to go. And if it's a break and there's the opposition player is attacking near him, he doesn't have the mental or physical capacity to stop the opponent in what they're doing. Whereas in Rodriguez, even what, like I say, he looks like he's been playing with us for a long time because he's just got that ability to do what he needs to do with his body to stop the opponent that's coming at him with the ball.
I disagree with both assessments. I think Rodriguez has been fine, and I think Souček's been fine. I don't think either of them have been great, but I don't think either have been terrible in the middle of the pitch. Now, one compliment I'll give Rodriguez is I don't know if he's left-footed or right-footed. I think he looks just comfortable with both feet in from what I've seen in the first half hour. I think I've watched him. He's left-footed, then he's doing some of the. I know he's actually right-footed. So I can't tell. I generally cannot tell what foot Rodriguez is. I could go look it up. That wouldn't be very fun, would it? I'd imagine he's right-footed, but I don't know.
Probably. I mean, I'm now going to just be obsessed with that and try and have a Rodriguez versus Souček kind of counter of pros and cons.
Kudus has been poor. I say poor. He's had some nice touches. That was a poor touch from him. Rodriguez has just been fouled. And
I'm not convinced Kudus is a central midfielder, or that it goes to his strengths at all. Yes, he's an incredible player, so he can do things everywhere. But I just, I don't see him as that. I don't see him as that receiving, looking up, and being anywhere near able to do the things Paqueta can do, which doesn't matter because we've got Paqueta anyway.
You've split the live chat really, and Richard said Rodriguez can do what Souček does in defence, and he can pass. Hughes doesn't agree with you. He said Rodriguez's pass has been poor. Gary thinks Souček's been fine. Nick says you don't notice Souček until he's not playing. Matty thinks people are just trying to find fault with Souček. Montana said he receives the ball and only plays it backwards. His time is up. Pollinator agrees with you, though, that Rodriguez has been good. So neat passage. Montana said Souček's only played it backwards. Again.
Yeah, I wouldn't say split. I'd say they're 65% in agreement with me. That's my read.
What chat are you reading? I was being kind with 50-50. Anyway, there's been another goal, so eyes on the screen, please. Jared Bowen with a corner on the left-hand side as there's a goal coming up at London Stadium. Jared Bowen whips this one in. Mavropanos sort of... Oh, no, it looks like the flag's up. Never mind.
Yeah.
Keka Dotted scored. It was Mavropanos swiped at it, and it sort of got put in at the back post. We'll get a closer view here. Jared Bowen took the corner. Mavropanos got his left peg on it. Paqueta put in with his todger, I think, at the back post, but he looked offside anyway.
He was well offside.
Yeah, he's comfortably offside there. No complaints. Lionel got that one right. This is YouTube summed up. Montana said, I see the game in the same lens as Moyes, but I think Souček is on the same level as Rodriguez. I challenge you. Wait, hang on. I challenge you to go back and tell me where I said that. You're just making stuff up. That would be like me, Montana. That would be like me clicking on this comment and saying, you've said Souček only plays it backwards. You've done nothing positive. That'd be like me saying, I don't know, just making stuff up. I never said Souček and Rodriguez are on the same level. Not once did I say that. You're lying. You're lying. You're telling lies. You sit on a throne of lies. Ross says this is an interesting watch. We have a lot of the ball and we're being challenged to break them down. We look clueless and we'll struggle to break Premier League teams down like this. Charlie saying, I said Souček was good on Perlo. Bill saying I wanted Danny Ings. Yeah, but I naively assumed we'd change formation. I also wanted Alexander Isak. So 1-1. I know what it could do. And Ollie Watkins, I can play this game all day. Let's go. Mavropanos with the ball just inside Celta Vigo's half, given out to Sufal at the right back position. It's over the top for Antonio, who's easily held off by the Celta Vigo defence there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hit and hope, to be honest. I don't think Antonio could have done a lot, and I don't think he's been asked to come back, and I don't think he should do. Then we'd have a whole.
Oh, this is just outstanding! This is outstanding football.
Oh.
Oh my word, this is sexy. It's 2-1 West Ham United. Paqueta with a fantastic finish, but the build-up, oh my word, that was gorgeous.
Build-up was lovely. I don't know did he get a slight nick or did he get a slight deflection on the way through?
I don't care. Don't spoil it. Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta, all involved in the goal. Let's talk you through it now. Paqueta holds off his man, gives it to Antonio, gives it to Bowen. He gives it to Paqueta. Through on goal, just dinks it over the Celta Vigo goalkeeper. Outstanding play by Antonio, Bowen and Paqueta. That is entertainment.
That was absolute quality. That was almost like a training ground, something that they've been working on, and it actually came to life in a game.
From Bowen.
That was fantastic. They definitely worked on that.
All three of them, fantastic.
Nice. The only sour point for me is that Rodriguez wasn't involved, because that would have been vital in the ongoing conversation.
Anyway, where is that? Where's Montana? OP's celebrating Paqueta's goal, so I can say he hates Jared Bowen. Speaking of Jared Bowen, he's just had a thunderous strike with his right foot tipped over by the goalkeeper. Nearly 3-1 West Ham. This is some nice stuff. Kudus with the ball, running forwards, holding off the challenges, and Antonio, good little decoy run to create space for Jared Bowen. Hits it first time with his right foot, gets power behind it, tipped over the bar. And Celta Vigo are proper whinging about something here. I'm not sure what. Is that?
I think they said.
That? Wait, hang on a minute. He looks a bit like Jose Mourinho, that ref. But what's his name? Is it Chris Foy? Is that his name? The referee. I recognise him, but I don't know why. Is it Chris Foy? F-O-Y. So. Looks like Mourinho. Well, with a corner, it's in. No, it's not. It's at the post or something. I thought it was in.
Yeah. No,
was it Mavropanos that got above everybody? We'll have to wait for the replay. I am enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm thinking how this might pertain to the season's games. It would be nice if we play like this against, let's say, at home. I'm trying not to say teams we should beat, because you don't want to say that, because we don't beat those teams. But if you think back to last season, for example, Burnley's probably the one where we played most like a Moyes team. Not that I want to bring up David Moyes or get into that, but he was our actual manager, so that is relevant. But yeah, we always had those games against teams in, let's say, the bottom 5 or 6, where we're just, that's where, again, other pundits, other teams, supporters, and that didn't understand what we were moaning about. But it was those kinds of games where we just sat back and didn't bother doing any of the things that we're doing now. So yeah, Celta Vigo now don't look particularly up for it. That's a terrible pass, was that Kilman?
Yeah, it was a bad ball, and Rodriguez had to make a foul.
Yeah, Kilman's basically in the left back position and chooses to play it what can only be called, if you were like a 12-year-old learning football, don't play it back into the danger area. And you did exactly that. But trying to get back to being optimistic on the attack, if we actually attack like this against teams in the lower end of the league, you'd hope we can outscore them. And obviously with our fantastic beast of a Frenchman coming to save us anyway.
David Green says, brilliant combo. Antonio's run, touch, Bowen's pass, Paqueta's all-round excellence. Jordan says, Celta Vigo free kick well over the bar. Jordan says, turns out you can be good on the ball and dangerous from set pieces, as Michael Antonio hit the bar with a header from Jared Bowen's corner. Peter said, we'll score more than last season, but still be Keystone Cops at back. Richard said, I wonder what we're going to do without Paqueta, though. He is the creative man in the middle of the pitch. And DiCanio says Kilman out. Matty says Souček went to foul there. But he's added a winky emoji. He's added tone.
I mean, Souček just gave the ball away there by a header, so curse the commentator there, Matty, I think.
Yeah. Richard saying, look at this, Charlie. How much rubbish did they watch last season? I do feel bad for Charlie. The last 2 years of watch-alongs, not much fun. Apart from we won the trophy, obviously, but in terms of Premier League, maybe not too much fun. Now look at us. Sexy football. Kudus is doing his thing again. Celta Vigo remain upset about something else now, and the referee has stopped the play. Gary, can I just say the kill me now? Okay, you've left it laughing. I don't know if you got it, Gary. I think it was just a joke. I can't tell if you're laughing because you think it's funny or what. I'm unsure, but I'm just defending the previous person who said kill me now.
I'm not sure if they'll replay this. The Celta Vigo player rubbing his eye. They are going to replay it. Was there eye contact?
He got his pinky finger and
a delicate touch obviously left him.
To be fair, those can hurt. Anyone that's played football, I've been poked in the eye a few times, played football, and it does sting. The eye waters insanely amounts as well. But anyway, Ariola goes low.
Unexpected empathy with the opposition there.
To be fair, there was one. I watched the Sheffield United game last night, and there was one that looked like a slight brush of his cheek, and he went down. And you thought, "Oh, just get up!" And he got up, and his cheek was completely like grazed and pissed and blood. Like, bloody hell! It just looked like a little tap, but actually, he must have like scratched his skin out or something. But anyway, West Ham are just knocking about again with Paqueta and Emerson this time down that left-hand side. Paqueta's flourishing and enjoying this free role he's been given by.
There was a good comment earlier. Richard Barlow, full name, said that maybe Kilman's feeling a bit of pressure, which I think is a fair comment. And also, I think someone else, maybe Peter, said like about the risk and reward thing. I mean, obviously, Kilman, sure, he has the ability, and he does make good passes. Like, it's not that he can't do it. Clearly, he can. Maybe he's just got in his head a bit, or it's like been over-instructed or something, to always be some kind of Maldini and putting like amazing passes through at any point where, for example, the one he gave away was just clearly not the time to play a cool pass.
Yeah. Quick break here by Celta Vigo to play through our midfield. I do find, well, we'll get this attack over with before I give my unwelcomed analysis. Yeah. But I do find that
Souček a bit too far forwards there for that counter. I
do find our that stretch of pitch between the halfway line and our 18-yard line, I do find they're finding it comfortable to penetrate that area and just get someone on the ball, and they're just making simple 20-30-yard runs before coming up against a West Ham player. We've been quite open in the middle of the park, I think, today.
Yeah, well, it's that type of game that does, it does lull our players because we have so much time on the ball that we're being a bit relaxed about it.
Great tackle by Sufal, and he comes away with the ball. But there's no support.
Yeah, he's literally like looking around and to go back to his mate.
But this is the thing, if we're going to start doing this, which is using the goalkeeper and playing out from the back, I don't mind it. Brighton, I don't know how Brighton are going to play now, but certainly under De Zerbi, they didn't mind resetting. He's well offside. Brighton didn't mind resetting, so if they had to, they'd go all the way back to the goalkeeper and centre-back and start again and basically say, come on then, press us, come and try and close us down, and then we're going to start to build up using the spaces you've just vacated. So I don't mind it too much. I think the difference is under...
If we do that, if we do that, I mean, just then Kilman tried to go out, by going like 30, 40 yards forward, ball over, not quite over the top, but in the air, to Kudus, which then obviously then just puts him in a 50-50. So it depends. It depends what we can do. It doesn't look like it's quite a Brighton way as yet. Nice win by Antonio there. Charges forwards. Slightly bad pass to Bowen.
throw into West Ham, 10 yards from the corner flag. Bass says Kilman's looked good up until that pass, to be fair. Good movement and very comfortable on the ball. Brett is itching, see Fulkrug and Somerville. Scott says Paqueta, Bowen or Caduce, who goes in his fantasy league team, all looking fantastic. I'm putting Bowen in. Scott. Bowen is in my fantasy league team. He's penalty taker as well, I imagine. Gary says we need to see what Kilman is like with a decent defence around him and alongside Todibo. Mavpanos has not had the best time in pre-season. He's a squad filler. Also, even if let's just say Kilman did struggle, I think he's done okay. But let's say Kilman struggled. I think Agerd would excel with how we're playing. I think Agerd's passing, is really good as well.
Yeah, I mean, someone agrees that Souček isn't mobile enough. Obviously, you were saying earlier that he's the most mobile player you've ever seen.
You'll get used to these comments, Nick.
Oh God, who slipped over there? Was that Mavropanos? Yeah, it was. Not really doing himself any favours with that.
I've got 2 minutes of stoppage time as we're nearing half-time at the London Stadium. Is there anyone you're hoping to see come out for the second half, Nick? Apart from Somerville and Fulkrug, assuming you're wanting to see them.
Yeah, basically them. If anything, I mean, yeah, both of them equally. With the Fulkrug thing, because with Somerville you almost know what you want, kind of thing. As a winger, and then with Fulkrug the question is, with us, what kind of player has he been told to be? What is he going to be? So that'll be interesting.
Lovely ball in, good header, comfortable save for Areola there. I think Mavropanos looks a little bit iffy in the last couple of minutes there. That was his man again, breaking free inside the 18-yarder. So it's not having the best afternoon out there, Mavropanos.
Not really. He's a bit of a funny one. I don't know why. He's just got like quite a moody face to begin with, which might not really seem relevant to a football player. But it's just sometimes he does good things, and then obviously he's got that list of things that he did badly, like just turning around and rolling the ball toward where he thought the goalkeeper might be, and then that cost us a goal in a couple of games. And he doesn't really seem to be aggressive enough. He doesn't have that burst that some defenders had, that, let's say, when Zuma's knees worked in the past, to just get there first. And that's kind of one of the most important things for a central defender to have, really. So, but as has been said in the chat, he's a squad player. That, I guess, that gives me a nice feeling of calm and relief that he's not going to be like first pick. And I think I just saw something about Cresswell, which, yeah, don't really want to see Cresswell. I've seen enough of him. Thanks for everything, but what's the point?
And that's half-time at the London Stadium. West Ham United 2-1 up. Get your thoughts in regarding the first half, please. Get into the live chat. It could be about the team overall, or if it's a certain player in particular you're wanting to discuss, feel free to just chuck your opinions in and let's see what you're all saying from a sparse London Stadium. Das is saying Paqueta is still the man. Blue Cheese is saying Paqueta is on fire. Marta is saying Jared Bowen is on fire. And Brett says Rodriguez looks great considering he hasn't had much time with this squad. Craig says who scored the goals. Oh, sorry, Craig. I forgot to put the banner back up after Paqueta scored. But Bowen, Paqueta scored for us, and Ristic scored for Celta Vigo. Crow doesn't really like their number 10. Cole says it's been a nice watch so far. Rob really enjoyed the first half. Topher says Paqueta's a joke. It's mad that he's still, well, it's only because he did a bet. Well, allegedly got booked on purpose, I should say. Chris said it's a different West Ham. Very, very good. Gary is reasonably happy. Badgers thinks Rodriguez looked comfortable. Ross says Paqueta will be Hammer of the Year if he doesn't get banned. Liam says Souček can't be a first 11 player anymore. Too many better options to start. Barry thinks defence is still worrying, whereas John is loving the higher press. Onion says not a big fan of Caduce left wing, but I guess not much we can change. That's the problem, really, isn't it? It's just someone's got to miss out a little bit with Paqueta and Caduce. You can't have them all where you want them. Someone's out there. But I think it's... What do you do? Do you... Oh, for God's sake, it's 3-1 on the banner. Apologies for that, Stephen. That's... Let me change that back. This is what happens when Charlie disappears. Everything falls apart. Nick, we're going to have to get you trained up to be technical guy for the season. You, Mark. I'm going to get you trained up. There we go. Sorted. Avram says, quite impressed with Kilman's passing and mobility. Front three cooking is no surprise. Rodriguez is bedding well. Would love to see Fulkrug, Somerville, and Guilherme on. Irons would like to says it's nice to see good football for a change. Topher says Mavpanos looks okay. And Brad says he's lumping on a top 6 finish at 11-2. I've got my bet for the season is West Ham on the handicap market. I think Everton are maybe a danger to the handicap market, but I feel optimistic.
What is the handicap?
So it takes like the final points at the end of the season. So say Man City are on 102 and Arsenal on 99 or whatever. And the bookie tells you how many points they're adding to the total. And then obviously it'll create a new league table off the back of that. So West Ham, I've got West Ham 34. So West Ham will get 34 points added to their total. Does that make sense?
I'd love to say I completely understood that and look very smart. And
Okay, let me flip it up. Flip it
bet,
round.
but...
Let me flip it round. Dan, they give every club, every Premier League team, a starting points before a ball's even kicked. So we start on 34 points. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay. But is it so? That's to win the handicap league.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
That's what I've got.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the concept. I still can't quite work out the mathematics in my head. I mean, I'm keeping it simple because our top 10
I'm not making it up.
Are very good.
I'm not making it up. I'm hoping somebody's in the Addicts WhatsApp group chat can back me up. Actually, I'll show you here. I've got it here. Got it here. West Ham to win. West Ham.
What are the odds on it?
15-1. Everyone's 15-1. West Ham plus 34 points. Season handicap winner. There you go. That's my bet. I'm not making it up. It's a market. Why would I make up a market like that? Bit of a far.
I don't know. Why would you haggle over the logic of a quiz question that's about an ocean? Why would you do that? You've admitted, I think in your words, you said that you're an annoying twat. It's something like that. So this is, just going to do David Brent hands here for silly betting and quiz twattishness, kind of.
Andrew's done the same thing. Barry, I did 20 quid, right? I did 20 quid. I've had 20 quid on it just for a bit of fun.
Just loaded. You just got 20 quid to throw away. I mean, yeah, like our top 10, I think we were something like 10 to 11. I don't know if that's got slightly worse due to our signings. The top 6, I mean, it's just a funny bet to make. Just as a West Ham fan, how can you really ever think anything good is ever going to happen? Even I talk about us just, winning the cup. That's just a dream. I like to say it makes me feel good.
Yes. Anyway, thank you to the people that have backed me up on this. I appreciate it a lot. Right. Sean says, looking forward to seeing the folk, hopefully in the second half. Let me just reset this because I've just messaged somebody. So seeing if we'd... Fulkrug is somebody I'd like to come on. I'm convinced he will... I end up getting... Do you know when you don't mean to get into an argument with someone? I ended up getting into an argument with someone earlier. They said, who do you think will score more next season, Solanke or Fulkrug? So I said, I think Solanke will. And they started giving me grief as to why I think Solanke is a better player. But again, I never said that. The question was, who will score more? I think Fulkrug will be a better signing. I think his build-up play and his assists will be better than what Solanke is. I just think he'll score more goals. That's all. I think Solanke is more likely to get more than what. I didn't think it was too big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think Solanke will probably get more game time. I mean, thinking about all of the players that we have, it would still be nice to see some rotation of Bowen can go as the striker, then that gives Kudus the right wing. That's another option. So yeah, like I don't think we haven't bought Füllkrug as our Solanke. He's not our savior that we must have a number 9 more than anything else. I did also see in the chat there's been so many comments. It might have been Ross, I'm not sure, who was complimenting my patron cake analogy that myself and Gonzo had the allegorical transfer window cake in which we layered up a delicious, not really, but vocally, Victoria Sponge saying what each player is. It was probably saying it doesn't make it sound even borderline entertaining, but I think it quite was, because the right back is the cherry on the cake, the potential Wan-Bissaka shaped cherry. I mean, I was happy enough that Man U couldn't get Todibo, even though they were interested, because of the Ineos link that kind of forbids them from doing that. So that was just also an added little sweetener to the wonderful deal.
I've seen some Man U fans trying to clutch at straws, suggesting that there's an agreement that we will sell Todibo to Man United maybe next summer or the summer after that, so then that way they can get their player eventually, and that's why
of course, yes, no, exactly, because every other football team purely exists for the sake of Manchester United, and when you're in conversation with a Man U fan, God knows where in the world they're actually from, they will only ever see that as a one-sided. You're being polite. I had one on the way back when it was the 1-0 game when Benrahma had that, let's just call it, slightly fluky goal against De Gea. And then on the train back to Kent, of course, I was lucky enough to sit next to a Man U fan who started off by saying he didn't like the London Stadium. Apparently that was supposed to have some impact to my general mood, and then just went on and on and on. But the good thing was there was another seat at the other end of the carriage, so I stood up and left that particular conversation.
Yeah, I've only just noticed you're wearing a West Ham shirt randomly, because I've just seen a cuff of your sleeve. I've only just noticed. I just thought you were wearing a black t-shirt or a black jumper. Anyway,
well, I'm quite pitched down, but no, this is the Bowen one.
I'm going to flick to the live chat and start taking some of your comments. Mac would like to see Souček off and switch to 2 attacking midfielders with Paqueta and Kudus, then Somerville on the left, and get Füllkrug on. Ralph would like to see Souček removed. Pollinator said Füllkrug's intelligence and movement between Kudus, Paqueta, and Bowen's service. He will be a revelation. Charlie backing me up. My boy still got my back. He says Solanke probably will score more than Füllkrug. I don't think it's too controversial.
Not quite sure that's having your back, but
yes.
Read this comment out before I think it's a backhanded compliment, if anything.
I'll take it. I'll take any kind of compliment. Richard says the difference we are going to have this season is we have a cracking bench. Steve says Kudus is brilliant, but a couple of times seems to pass back when others around him are free. Westwood says we seem decent, good press, good going forward, but a bit worried in defence. However, we'll get that sorted.
Amy Kelly, pertinent question coming up.
Right, you star that. You know how to star that. Get that starred so we don't lose it. And DJ says, so good to watch a game with a smile on my face, knowing we won't have to wait until the 80th minute for our first substitute. Michael says, Kudus on the left doesn't work for me. Ross thinks Wan-Bissaka is better than Mazraoui. Man U are becoming the new Chelsea. Survive saying playing Kudus out of position won't help. Westwood says a mid-table finish. Totally fine with that, as we're in a transitional period. Let's hope our fans stay behind Lopetegui if that occurs.
I get that kind of
feel
safety
like,
aspect.
Charlie, can you just pop something? I feel like I've missed something here, Charlie. I don't know what you're referring to, so just let me know what that's in reference to, and we'll get it sorted. Before you click on your static comment, Let me just click on this one and say massive thank you to Fortunes hiding down under TV for the 15 Aussie dollars. Says 1 a.m. here. Defense looks a bit casual, but it's pre-season, so we can let that one go. Love the link up. Well done and watch along that. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for the donation. It helps out the channel a lot. And people, go subscribe to that channel as well. Fortunes Down Under TV. Go find it on YouTube. Just Google it on YouTube. Bang, there you are. Go get it. Nick, your comment.
Oh, I gotta go and get it now.
Starry one. Where's the starry one? Get the starry one. Can you remember how to do it?
Yes, I'm not completely correcting us. How's Rodriguez playing? It's a great question. Much better than Souček for one. And generally speaking, I've been very impressed with him. Geo hasn't been impressed. I don't know why. I have been impressed because when he's been one touch, confidence, his defensive positioning has been just all in the right place. He just looks as though he's been playing with those other players for a long time. So that just gives you, that show of what just that instant quality and talent that he has. So yeah, I think he adds a lot to the midfield.
Right, I've tried to put a link in for the Fantasy League. I don't know if links work, but I've definitely put the code in for the Fantasy League. So that's the official Premier League fantasy football link /code. You want to join us? We will be doing one on Patreon for patrons only, and the prize if you win the Patreon Fantasy League next season, the prize is a signed Mohamed Kudus shirt. I don't have it to show you. I've got two en route. We had an issue with our previous Mohamed Kudus signed shirt. For those that watched the behind the scenes video, we had a bit of an issue with it. It was a fake one. It was a real Kudus signature on a fake West Ham shirt. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It really frustrated me. So they get Kudus to sign the number. They get the players to sign the actual numbers, and then they go get the numbers printed onto shirts. Fake shirt, real signature. So sent it back, but I managed to allocate two. Brad, you will have won a signed Tony Gale book, I think. I could be wrong. I think you've won a signed Tony Gale. There is a prize. Message me on Patreon. We'll get it sent out to you. And Paul, there is a Super 6 Hammers Chat League. It's weirdly not run by us. Somebody created it years ago, and we've just used it. But it is called Hammers Chat. I'll get the details during the week for people to join up on Fantasy League. And do you play either, Nick? Are you Fantasy League or Super 6? Do you play either?
Super 6, yes. Fantasy League, I haven't for a while. I used to, and then it just got one thing too many to really care about on a week-by-week basis.
You're going to change that this season. I'm a bit like that. The first time I took it serious, I won the Patreon League. And last season, I missed a couple of weeks. And like everybody does, you just give up, don't you? You miss a week or two, you fall behind, you think, oh, I'm not going to bother. So I'm going to try and be a bit better this season. And I've got some good players in my team. I've got some cheap players I think are going to do well. So I'm looking forward to it. Michael said, I know it's pre-season, but wow, empty stadium. It's just the people. There's a bit of a boycott going on. So I think... it's worked, I think. Bill said, I think it'd be better to use Bowen on the left and Kudus on the right. Nah, you ain't moving. I ain't moving. I am not agreeing to move Jared Bowen. Lewis, we don't know about match bingo. We're due to get an answer Monday or Tuesday. It's in the balance. We're hopeful, but if not, we've got space for one more brand deal for next season. So if anyone's watching this that works at a company that want to sponsor us, feel free to get in touch. I might not take the opportunity because I am a little bit fussy. However, you're more than welcome. We've got some substitutes happening, Nick. Let me just move my keyboard out of the way. Got some.
Yeah, camera's still quite far away, so I can't figure out who it is.
What was that? Sorry.
The camera onto the pitch. You can see them running on. Oh, here we go.
I can see a Gerd. He's on now anyway. Let me just get this sorted.
Yeah, Dinos is off, I think. Goes back to being a bit moody. I'm not sure who the other player was. Haven't seen him yet.
Right, that's that done. That's that done. That's that done. Here we go. Right, now I'm ready to pick my iPad back up. I'm ready for the second half, Nick. Let's see what we've got, what changes we've got. I'm still seeing Caruso, Antonio, Bowen, and Paqueta. James Ward-Prowse has come on to replace Rodriguez. Now we've got the Souček, Ward-Prowse with double pivot back. I'm not a fan of that. Then we've got Soufal. I think it's Kilman, Gerd, and Emerson with Fabianski in goal.
I'm just not sure. I don't know what the consequence will be of the action you've taken there of saying double pivot, based on what I've recently learned about Gonzo's just deep burning passion of hatred for that phrase. So I just want to make note of that and see what happens on a later basis.
He doesn't like football terminology. He doesn't. He doesn't like football terminology.
Football terminology after 1980.
He has his phrases such as swashbuckling attacking football. That's what his
very much phrase. Very much a good old like championship manager in the old days, CM2 phrases then.
Yes, and the other phrase, his favourite phrase is pace. Just one word. Pace.
Pace yourself.
Whenever we do a match preview, me and Charlie used to have a joke about this, right? And whenever we did our match preview, the last question on the opposition we're ready to play will always be, is there anyone you admire from the opposite team? And he will always just pick out the fastest winger from that team. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter. Adama Traore, whatever. He'll just pick out the fastest winger. You just say that guy's name. He said, yeah, I like him. Insert fast winger. So we play Aston Villa. So I think he might say, I'm surprised it's still Diaby. He looked good, but they've still got Leon Bailey. I put money on it now that he says Leon Bailey was there.
Yeah. I mean, you said that in an open setting, so I'd be careful. That's about as likely to happen as your handicap bet. I still don't. I'm not 100%. There's just lots of mathematics in that bet. So, I mean, if you win it, then you can, rub it in that quizmaster's face. You said the Atlantic Ocean was one meter deep. I don't know if you can live that down. But, I mean, Souček's not really a pivot anyway. I personally don't like the phrase double pivot just because it just sounds like something someone says. And I don't mean you. And I know Emma Hayes has said it, so I'm kind of like choosing my words carefully. But I just think it's saying something for the sake of saying something. Because anyone can pivot. On a football pitch, you generally have 360 degrees of freedom unless you're right up by the touchline. And even then, you're not far off 360. So I don't really get, okay, so you've got three midfielders, so you've got a triple pivot because they could pass it to Paqueta. He pivots, just relentless pivoting through the team.
It's not really how that works, but sure, I understand one frustration. It's just a common term used in football now. It's like, I don't know, like the box midfield, it just, what it means, what that looks like on paper in terms of formation, the way that you play. Nobody called it that.
Kilman did all right there as well.
Oh my God.
A lovely pass. Kilman actually did quite well there. And he was basically in midfield at that point, and he still managed to get it under and release it.
Yeah, and Paqueta with a lovely ball over the top for Caduce, but just couldn't quite get it under control.
That is really the Paqueta. They can't think of many other players in the league who can do that better. Hence the song.
Ward-Prowse with a corner in, punched away by the Celta Vigo keeper, and Ward-Prowse will get a second attempt to swing this one in, cleared by the first man in the box, and now Celta Vigo have a break, but they've not made the most of it, and it's a free kick to West Ham, maybe 30 yards out, but to the left-hand side of the goal, so it's not shooting. A yellow card has been banished, which seems quite harsh considering the other potential bookings he's let go, so it's a free kick. which will be, I assume, crossed in by James Ward. Prowse Harry says, Paqueta looks so good. Paqueta's look great, according to Alex. Paul says pivoting is total bollocks. Lewis says low block is most overused term. Timmy says box-to-box central midfielder. Football terminology, yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Everyone just
Paul
says low
says,
block for when the team's defending.
It's not though. It's not to it's to describe a team's mentality and strategy. It's not just the action; it's the intent as well.
The intent of what is the intent?
To defend their box.
Right. So I think you've basically you've walked into your own trap there. I don't think the action of defending. So in let's say the 80s, 90s, 2000s, when teams were just defending deep.
I'm agreeing with what Stephen's saying here. It used to be parking the bus. That was what it used to be. It used to be parking the bus. They've just changed the.
That still raises questions. Yes, thank you. Why change it? Because it sounds better, on Sky Sports. Just say park the bus.
I do wonder.
Feels better. Low block, very low block.
I do wonder who was the
Atlantic Ocean low block. That's yours.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you very much. Anyway, Paul's very much on Team Nick here, which is it's just rubbish. I know you think it's bollocks, but it's the pundits that are the ones that use it a lot.
Yes, pundits that we don't like. So let's, break away.
Hang on a minute. I do like. There's a lot of pundits I do like, though. I don't dislike them all. And the ones I do dislike, I dislike them because they're hypocritical, not because I don't agree with their opinions. They're entitled to that. It's just when they have an opinion for Team A and then Team B, they go against what their opinion was previously on Team A. It's like Alan Shearer, West Ham England was perfect. Slacked us off for saying XYZ, and he went and said XYZ in regards to England. It's like, hang on a minute, this is what you said we're not allowed to say. So that's the ones I don't like. I think Carragher, I think Monday Night Football is fantastic. I absolutely love Monday Night Football, especially when it gets a guest on, like Thomas Frank, Gary O'Neill, Daniel Sturridge. I think there's been a lot of guest pundits in last season that were fantastic, and I learned listening to these people. I learned stuff listening to them. We've got one on Friday Night Football, Man U against Fulham. Obviously, there's not going to be much for them to analyse, but I like it. Alex agrees with me, but we're splitting the chat again here.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that. Yeah, I mean, Carragher says some things. Obviously, I've seen Paul McCarthy in the chat just violently disagree with that statement. But I think Carragher's got less annoying. A few years ago, he just used to go off on them on randoms, and obviously, like 95% of the time, speak about Liverpool, and in Liverpool games only talk about Liverpool. But he got the Moyes situation right. I think he was one pundit that actually kind of nailed the general premise of what was happening. And it's like, just to kind of irritate you by proxy about the Simon Jordan David Moyes interview, and then Simon Jordan asked the question that those pundits will say, where should West Ham finish, which is a nonsense question for so many reasons, mainly because that's not how league tables are decided. You play football games and then you win and get 3 points, or draw and get 1, and then hey presto, teams finish like that at the end of the season. It's not up to just those who think that there's no, like, every opinion they have is completely correct to say where we should finish.
Yeah. Anyway, we're just knocking. I'm just keeping an eye on the pitch here. We were knocking about the back there. Gerd looked for Bowen, but heavy touch, bad kick by their keeper, and Sufal's picked it back up. And Paqueta is just so good.
Tempo's gone up a bit in the second half. They're still not pressing us that much, but I feel like they're pressing us a bit more than they were. First half was a very gentlemanly affair. Oh, lovely pass by Antonio.
got the ball on the left here as Emerson gives it back to Paqueta, who tries to dink it into the box. It's cleared out, but Paqueta's just, he makes the Celta Vigo player pressure and looks silly, but he gives the ball away, goes for a little roll. Celta Vigo are breaking with it. Lopetegui wants the game stopped as Celta Vigo on the attack. Aguerd under pressure here. Kilman comes over. Great tackle by Kilman and covering his centre-back pairing. They're under pressure a little bit, Aguerd and Kilman there, but they've done well. It's a corner kick to Celta Vigo. However, I think that was good defending by those two.
Yeah, I think, like, not wanting to just, I mean, I wouldn't say snap judge because he's already our player, but yeah, Mavropanos, just small things like that where he doesn't seem to use a classic football phrase, get stuck in. I think Aguerd was actually willing to kind of go for it at that point. So with that one move, Aguerd has moved himself up the substitute pecking order. I didn't actually see what happened to Paqueta there, so I don't know if he's just doing the Brazilian.
He kind of gave the ball away and then went on a roll, didn't he? What's your time, Matt, Nick? What's your
55:20.
Yeah, see, I'm on 34, but somebody's saying my stream's really far behind, but I'm I don't know, 10
No, I mean mine will be. I'm on a VPN because I'm not in England now, so mine will be delayed for those various reasons.
But I'm just coming up to 56 minutes. Celta Vigo have taken the corner. Fabianski comes and punches. They keep it alive. Kudus hassling him, but he's done quite well under pressure here. And Paqueta's won the ball. Now it's West Ham's chance to break here. Paqueta flicks it to Kudus, who's off and gets tugged back, but he does well. Should be a free kick, but his referee played advantage and back to Paqueta it goes, really. That was frustrating. This is where, though, in the friendly, you'll get away with it. But in the Premier League, that's a booking, possibly even two bookings for Paqueta and Kudus. So I'm actually intrigued to see these breaks in the Premier League because in the Premier League, you can do stuff and get away with it that you can't in a league game of football. So that defender
I mean,
to score or take a yellow card.
Yeah, their number 7's on about 5 yellow cards already, just by doing all those kinds of things.
Lewis just saying Kudus has unreal balance. Paul thinks Kilman and Tadibo will be an excellent combo. Decent fullbacks. I'm desperately hoping Souček and Ward-Prowse don't get past for 6 weeks as they're established. I think one starts against Aston Villa. Just a prediction, I think one starts. While Alvarez is injured, I should say. Honestly, I'm fine with my stream the way it is. I'm ahead of some people and in line with some people and behind some people. We're all at different times. I'm okay. I'm not going to refresh it because then I'll miss something on my luck. It'll try and refresh it. It says it's live.
We're still moving it about reasonably quickly. When we get it at the back, we're looking to at least do something with it.
I'm refreshing it. I'm doing it. I'm refreshing it. Oh, piss off. I don't know. Get off. Oh, look what's happened now. Trying to refresh it. I've got all this shit coming up. No, don't track. Go away. Continue.
So now the one person here, me, who has it is even further behind. So that's actually less help. And there's no way I'm touching any of my devices.
I've got to watch an advert now. There we go. Now I'm back.
Yeah, it comes under be careful what you wish for, that does. And I think someone else, I don't know if we said about the squad numbers, Ward-Prowse is 8 because Somerville is 7. Which is quite interesting because Somerville said that he is 7 and he said it was even maybe his nickname. And I know Ward-Prowse said he liked 7, but I don't know if he's kind of moved over from 7 to 8 to definitely become his own player rather than in every interview he says he likes David Beckham, which is fair enough, but also a bit weird at the same time somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kudus is a bit frustrated. Yeah. I mean, Kudus has been like either tugged back or the opposition complain when like that he's being too physical when he's not, and this kind of thing. I think he's just getting a little bit frustrated.
Here we go, though. It's time for Fulkrug. The boy is coming on up front to replace Mikhail and Antonio. So he's going to get half an hour here, Fulkrug. I'm looking forward to this. He's coming on twisting his ears, revving his ears up before he bangs in a goal. Looking forward to seeing him, actually. I'm really looking forward to Fulkrug. I think he'll be a great I think he'll be a big signing for us. I think he will just make the attacking midfielders better with his hold-up play.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see effort. Is the first big thing, really.
There was an effort there from Kudus, which was blocked well by Celta Vigo's defence. He started the second half quite brightly, Kudus, actually. Agard picks out the Celta Vigo long ball, gives it to Emerson, who's gone for a little dribble for laying it off to Tom Souček. And out to Jared Bowen on the right-hand side. Playing with a little bit of confidence today, I think, Nick. A little bit of freedom, a bit of confidence, a bit of flair. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're saying about being excited about the new signings, and then you almost go on about it. Not that I'm saying you just go on about things in your videos, but you just go on about it for weeks, and then you remember the players that we've already got. And I guess it's still hanging over. It's another big topic that will go on about Paqueta's situation. I'm just still staying a bit optimistic about it, and I don't think there's enough. From a point of view of me, who absolutely knows nothing about the legal framework that we're dealing with, but it doesn't seem they have anything outrightly damning. I could be completely wrong in this context, but long story short, I just hope that Paqueta has that optimism, or he knows something that we don't, or something to just give him that full season ahead. And of course, for a while, there's also been, the Man City aspect, which is always a thing. It's never nothing. It's always going to be somewhere mentally, him, players around him, fans, whoever. But then you see him like this, just getting on the ball, and you just can't see it enough. And obviously, being West Ham fans, then we talk about, when he's not playing, what do we do? But let's not worry about that. Let's just enjoy the fact that he is playing for us, and the amazing things he does just on a casual basis.
A triple substitution here for Celta Vigo as we are into the 62nd minute of the Betway Cup. It's still 2-1 West Ham. Waiting to see Somerville. I'd like to see Somerville on soon, Nick, whether it be, to be fair, start getting some of the big players off, just don't risk an injury. Yeah. Bowen, Paqueta, Kudus. They've had a good hour now, a productive hour as well. I'd start making some big number changes.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely Kudus, obviously, is such a physical player in everything he does. Get to the point where you just want to save him at this point.
Ward-Prowse pinging it out to the right-hand side for Sufal. Kilman's looked a bit better in the second half, I think, weirdly. Even though he's on the right side now, I think he's looked a little bit more comfortable. Maybe it's with a Gerd next to him, but...
I mean, does Mavropanos get any game time?
Very
next
little.
Season? If we get another right back.
I mean, even if we don't get another right back, I think he's fourth choice centre back now. So,
yeah.
There was talk today that him and a Gerd could be sold. I think it might be a case of him or a Gerd, but because he's still worth quite a bit of money, regardless of what you think of him. I still think somebody would pay a decent fee to get him out of West Ham. So there is a lot of value in him if we decide to cash in. I'd keep him around for another centre back. I still don't really have a strong opinion about him. I'm waiting to decide what I feel about Mavropanos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now we've got the others in, and again, it's just the two big rickets, to use Gonzo 80s football parlance, that he made against Bristol and whoever the other one was.
That's a good ball there
yeah.
by Celta Vigo out to the right-hand side. Shot across the face of goal and out for a goal kick to West Ham United. Could do with some spice happening. As comfortable as it's been and pretty as it's been, Nick, I'd like a bit of excitement added into the game. A couple of shots or something.
Fair enough. High requirements, I'd say at this point, because you also want substitutions made.
Well, I'd like substitutions to come on and bring the spice.
To bring an element of, all right, fair enough.
Well, I want the subs to come on and bring an element of I'm playing for the place in the team here, because...
Do you want to switch over or I can do it, things you said I think you said I'm a technical cretin or something earlier. I forgot the exact words, but we've got the West Ham subs. I could click on that and show that. If that would
go on. Yeah, do it.
If that would give you a strong vote of confidence.
Can I
do it? Is that feed still live?
There you go. That's the subs there for you. Obviously, one or two of them are currently on the pitch. I'm not updating it as we go. I'm not as good as
great.
Charlie was.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a goal. It's 2-0.
Oh, I'm going to have to come back to Dean's song comment.
I thought he was offside, but Lionel said he's onside.
No, the other one, yeah. One was, one wasn't. Slightly laid back. Very, very relaxed about being in a football game at that point. All of our players just kind of said, nah, have a go.
The replay coming up now. I'll talk you through it. I got to put pressure on him out in the right channel. Nice little touch. Nice play by Celta Vigo, to be fair. Long distance effort. Struck, I think, Souček and bobbled through to their attacker who lifted it over Fabianski. Some really nice passing down there, our left.
Oh, dear.
It hit Souček.
So my question would be, where was Souček going at that point in his life? Where was he going? Where was he going? There.
Just a
element of luck. Element of bad luck if it just hit Kilman at that point.
Bad goal to concede again.
If Souček, when they're attacking, when the opposition attacks, if you think to yourself, where is the opposition player, and go to that player rather than just kind of dither. And I like Souček. People might not think I do, but as a human being, it's fantastic.
2 substitutions here for West Ham as George Earthy replaces Lucas Paqueta, and new signing Crescencio Somerville replaces Jared Bowen. Somerville going over to the left-hand side, which means Kudus is going to come over and play on the right-hand side. So 2 substitutions for West Ham.
There you go. That should be sufficient spice.
Yes, Kudus on the right, I think, is exciting, and Somerville will be not under pressure, but I'm sure he'll be keen to impress and show what he can do. I'll be keen to see if Fulcru could get the ball. I've not seen him touch it yet.
No, he had a little bit in his first. I think he was on for a couple of minutes, and he wandered over to the right wing and just took it, received it, played it back. I mean, it was fine. If we want to overanalyze everything he did, but
asking who the captain is. So we're going to have to play a game now of spot the captain. I think it'll be Fabianski, but we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for somebody with an armband on now. Jared Bowen's gone off. Who is the skipper? My guess would be Fabianski, but...
I mean, yeah. I guess, if this game was about showing something to the new head coach or whatever, I mean, Ward-Prowse hasn't been given any favours because he's now in the midfield, which is not our strongest. Double pivot, though you may say it is, whatever on earth that means. Insufficient pivoting, that's why that second goal went in.
We're trying to just up the tempo a little bit with their passing now after they've scored. We just seem to be a bit more determined
That full crew there came back, laid it back. Fair enough. Wants to get in the game. Good sign.
Oh, there we go. So Mulch reckons it's Fabianski as well, and that reckons it's Souček.
Whoops.
We'll wait and see. Once Craswell comes on, he'll take it anyway.
Oh, good.
Kelvin drifting forward. Good ball out to Kudus on the right. Hopefully, this can snap us into action a little bit. Kudus is cutting in field here. Somerville came and got it. Dinked it over for Kudus. Good play. Unlucky. Oh, and Souček hooks it over the bar. Somerville and Kudus was a good link-up play there between those two.
Yeah.
Unlucky that.
Fell to the wrong man.
Hazare is asking how Aguerd's been. Would you like to take that one, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing to say about it at this point, because it hasn't been on that long since half-time, he's been fine. Is just a general assessment. I mean, better than Mavropanos, who just was bad, not quite terrible. So I'm just going to go with a very bland description of bad. I guess he's been promising in terms of we know what his positive sides are, and I think he showed them in the brief time he's been on. Although obviously, with the game as it is, players coming off, going on a little bit scrappy anyway.
Just doing admin.
It's fine. I wouldn't say hatred. I like the man, Thomas Souček, and I have disclaimed everything I've said with the fact that he did score goals and win us points. But I would say they weren't those type of chances. They weren't shots from 18 yards out. There was when he was running in and finishing it closer, which I'm very grateful for what he did for us.
Also, I like how I'm getting associated with this. You lot, hang on a minute, I'm getting criticism for sticking up for Souček. Now I'm getting criticism for hating on him. I haven't even opened my mouth in the last hour.
I mean, it depends sticking up. I just don't think he's a good enough football player for this team. That's just like to remove any banter from the equation and just make a boring statement. I think he's a weak link. He's not who I want to see in a West Ham shirt, and I refuse to apologise for that.
I think it's the right time. I said it months ago. It's the right time for Souček to move on, and that's no insult towards him. He's been a fantastic signing for us, but we've moved on. Substitution for West Ham here is Aaron Craswell comes on to replace Emerson at left back, and he may pick up the captain's armband. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But he may be the captain. I can't see it on him. I've got a close-up of Craswell adjusting his manhood, but there is no captain's armband. So Skinny Geo is not captain. Thank you, Avram. Right, West Ham have got the ball under control here. Soufal looking for options, lays it into Kudus, who's constantly tightly marked and has been fouled just inside West Ham's half.
Potentially controversial comment from David Green. They'd rather we keep Souček than James Ward-Prowse. Is that a fair comment for all you Souček lovers out there, Gio?
I would keep Ward-Prowse. I think Ward-Prowse can, I wouldn't say excel, but I think he can play in Lopetegui's system the way that he wants to play. I think Ward-Prowse will be fine. I don't think he'll be in the first team per se, but I think he'll be a reliable option within this squad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he needs to face up to himself that that's what he is or what he's become. I don't think he's going to suddenly revolutionize himself as a football player. He's obviously got clear qualities, but also small bits lacking here and there. Although he had those first few months of us when he was very good, and then for some reason just got a bit less good over time. Was that him? Was it the system? Was it the weather? I have no idea.
Right then, West Ham's moving the ball about in the middle of the pitch here. Ward-Prowse out to Kilwin, to Soufal, back into the feet of Kudus, who's now running at his man, takes him on and try to win a corner. Have won a corner through George Earthy putting pressure on.
It was nice. It's still nice way we moving around though. It was still 1-2 touch. It was still at a tempo. We didn't just think, oh well, we're in the 75th minute now. Who cares? Pass to anyone that's available. There was actually a clear direction that we were taking with that.
Anyway, Ward-Prowse take this corner on the right hand side. So it's another out swinger. Souček couldn't reach it. It's back up in the air. A Gerd flicks it back to Somerville. And Creswell plays it back to Soufal at the halfway line. And Creswell gives it back to Lucas Fabianski as he was under pressure. George Earthy's dropped deep to collect the ball. He's still there, but Fabianski shoos him away and gives it to Creswell at left back.
Yeah, if that was a league game, could have just before that went out for the corner, he could have just gone down. Seeing as the defender wrapped his leg around Kudus's, but obviously Kudus doesn't do that. He's a very, very honest player.
I agree with that. By the way, calling him an honest player, I think that's very, very accurate. Does his best to stay on his feet, Kudus. Sometimes I think there's opportunities he could go down, but he doesn't. He stays on his feet and just tries to battle through.
Yeah, so still a lot of impressive movement. In every area of the pitch, you see different players willing to go into different places. You see again willing to just completely go out right to the left side touchline in order to get it and then release it.
Yeah, West Ham back on the attack after a little run by Kudus and good work from Earthy and Creswell. Somerville gives it to Fulkrug, who manages to get it back to Somerville. West Ham just trying to find a way through. Celta Vigo are in their park the bus. Doesn't quite work as a low block, but we're not allowed to call it that. So Celta Vigo, we're in the park the bus. And Soufal's cross went through everybody, though, and it's a throw in to Celta Vigo in their corner.
And it's lovely to see Earthy and Somerville do this. To think that they're not like starting 11 players and then they come on the pitch and do this kind of thing. It's amazing.
That cross from Soufal was a bit frustrating for me there because he doesn't need to do that. Fulkrug's a bit Andy Carroll-esque in the sense that all you have to do is put the ball in the box. Andy Carroll always used to say to players, like, loft it in, don't whip it in. Just loft it and make it 50-50, me and the centre-back, and I'm going to beat him. And Fulkrug's a bit like that as well. You don't need the cross to be that good. He can turn an average cross into a good one because of how good he is in the air. And I just think there was almost a bit of like a Soufal trying to get it bang on. Go on, Nick, you can answer that one.
That is a clever comment, GP. I like that. There's layers to that. It's very, very clever. Someone earlier called them butt plugs, which is possibly humorous, but a little bit base. I think that was Pete. But yes, it's a clever comment. I just thought that deserved to be highlighted there.
Mulch, there will be penalties if it's a draw, correct? Because obviously it's a cup. You need a winner. So there will be a penalty shootout. I remember watching a penalty shootout, I think, in the Betway Cup against Atletico Bilbao a few seasons ago at the
More of the
Betway Cup.
Souček fan club there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised he's not taking Souček off, all things considered. 78 minutes. You've got quite a few players on the bench that haven't came on yet. Irving and Potts off the top of my head are there. So there's options to just inject a little bit more energy and give players a run out. But Celta Vigo have an opportunity to shoot here, and over the bar it goes by quite some distance. And Fabianski in a bit of a hurry to get the ball back and get the play underway again. As we see the same crowd shot as we've seen all game for about the 15th time. Somerville has looked neat, I think, is how I'd describe his performance so far. I think Kilman's had a much better second half than first half as well, by the way. I think Kilman's looked good in the second 45. Earthy linking up well, demanding the ball back from Soufal before shifting it to Kilman, who puts out to Emerson Gerrard as we come forward once again. And backwards once again.
Yeah, I mean, we're really in the embarrassment of riches in a lot of areas of the pitch. It feels funny to say that and be just pleased with the bench that we have, and just Earthy's in that kind of can do no wrong stage, in that the expectations aren't high, but he's actually exceeding them.
I think Walsh has been harsh here because he says we don't have much depth as they do, because some of them in the second half have shown them they're way off the mark, and he's including Mavropanos, who went off at half time. That's a bit harsh on Mavropanos. He's not played he did look poor in the first half, though, admittedly. A bit of a snapshot there by Celta Vigo into the hands of Fabianski, who does have the captain's armband on. We can see that there clearly, just peeking out under his left sleeve.
I can't remember. I mean, it's a bit of a strange thing to remember in the first place, but I can't remember when we've had a fourth choice central defender.
Well, he may not be. It's just my opinion is that he'd be.
Well, no, but let's just say 4 central defenders, basically, and every other position on the pitch is now well covered.
I think we've always been quite well stacked at centre back. To be fair, even the likes of Balbuena, who might not be the best centre back in the world. I think he's been all right, but we've got an abundance of wealth at centre back, though. Todibo, 35 million, Mavropanos, 25 million, Aguirre, 35 million, and Kilman, 40 million.
Kind of question answer there. I mean, the first half, and someone was saying is Kilman feeling the pressure, and then the answer as well. Obviously, it depends who he's with, but also I think if anything, Kilman's picked up a bit. I mean, I don't think this is a friendly, and Celta Vigo haven't really been attacking much. So Kilman hasn't had that much defending to do, but you still see him willing to get on the ball. Most of his passes, he had that, let's say, one bad one that was noticeable in the first half, but he still seems to have the confidence to keep going at it. He's not just resorting to lumping it, which I know is only one side of defending, and it's not actually the defending part. I guess he needs to give himself and us confidence by doing a big-headed clearance at some point that the crowd can then cheer and gets him confident.
83.5 minutes gone now at the London Stadium. It's still 2-2. We may have a penalty shootout on our hands. That's thrilling, isn't it? That's what we all want to see. A long ball down the right-hand side for Kudus, who collects it well. Soufal's got forward in support. High energy performance from him today, actually, Soufal, considering he's been on the pitch since the start. Now, Creswell wins at the back post, but is beaten to it, and Celta Vigo will play their way out of danger down that right-hand side and come forward with it. But we got back well and in numbers to cut out the threat of a counter-attack. And just want to say thank you to JP for a £3 super chat. Very, very kind. Appreciate it a lot. Helps a lot too. And Celta Vigo come down the left-hand side this time. And it's tipped over, I think. Yes, it is. It was one of those poor crosses that causes the keeper a little bit of bother, catching them out, but Fabianski made sure it was over and just got his fingers to it, and corner kick to Celta Vigo with 5 minutes to go.
Are we in the overall feelings portion of the commentary now? Do you have any?
Sorry?
It's just the overall feelings you're having as we're past 85 minutes.
I've enjoyed it actually, Nick. The first half more than the second half, but that's going to happen when there's a lot of substitutes on both teams and you take off likes of Paqueta and Bowen. And to be fair, I think we've missed Rodriguez in the second half. I will say that. I will say I think we've just missed him being in there. But I'm feeling positive. If anything, my one disappointment, and this isn't a criticism. A disappointment is not a criticism, but I would have liked to have seen a couple more changes. You know, Souček coming off for one of Potts or Irving. I would have preferred to have seen Potts, but either or. Maybe take Kudus off and bring on Cornet. Do I think Cornet is going to do anything? Not really, just get some minutes in their legs and stuff. But this has been my most enjoyable friendly. I think this has been my most enjoyable pre-season match. Saying that, the two previous ones were awful. But yeah, a good exercise, I think. I think you can clearly see what Lopetegui wants us to do. Playing it around at the back. Don't mind a long ball. It's going to catch us out a few times, but I do think we'll reap some rewards as well. Like the previous poster said a while ago, risk versus reward, and he's willing to do it, and I like it. I like it a lot. Ross says, I agree with every word here, which is lots of possession, lots of huff and puff, little end product, fragile at the back. But he goes on to say, Moyes part 2. David says, Lopetegui can't make excuses for himself. He's made the bare minimum of changes. Charlie says, attacking good, defending bad, vibes positive. It's a good summary, that.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I mean, I think there's going to have to be, there's already a lot of change, mindset shifts. I just think if we change our way of play this much, which I think we are, I don't think this is anything like Moyes whatsoever, in my opinion. You have more possession and you're allowed to use more quality. You're told to be 1-2 touch in possession as well. And that's just such a marked difference, I think. So that might be to explain something to do with the defensive frailty from the terms of you have so much possession, then you get lulled into a false sense of security, or you're not ready to just snap if the opposition is giving you that possession, or you're just playing well. But then when they get it in, obviously we're talking Premier League speed of counter. If the other team is set up for this and our players aren't fully awake and aware, if Emerson sits back and if Soufal's having an off day and if the central defenders aren't just, mentally beefed up with full confidence to just be aggressive, then you're going to get the kind of sloppy goals thing. So yeah, I think I can't see many 0-0s.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah,
sorry,
it's finally going off.
I'm just writing my notes for the review.
And then Fulkrug hasn't had an opportunity to really do anything just because it's been, second half of a pre-season fully with changes and a bit scrappy. And yeah, he's not just going to bust a lung to put himself out of position and try and get the ball just for the sake of it. So I think that's just the type of game it is.
Yeah, and the last couple of minutes there, Guilherme came on for Kudus. I'm not going to lie, I forgot about Guilherme. I'm just saying I would have liked to have seen more subs. Forgot he was here. I would have liked to have seen him earlier. A few minutes at the end.
That's the level of squad depth that we're now dealing with.
Yeah. but he's on anyway. So I mean, some of these players they're not even going to make the bench for the Aston Villa games. That's the thing, like Danny Ings. It's possible he's not even on the bench. Kone might not be on the bench. Lopetegui's got some tough calls to make next weekend. Not just the starting 11, but who's the subs as well.
Well, I mean, he has. Whether it's a tough conversation or not, he needs to just be. He needs to say, Danny Ings, thanks for all the smiles of yours that we've enjoyed. But please, enough is enough. Don't just hang around for the salary. Even if he does, fair enough. You've got to get paid money, whatever. But someone needs to somehow persuade him to just take this money elsewhere and get off the books. Otherwise, it's just embarrassing and annoying.
Yeah, love that from Soufal. He just got bodied by somebody, which is understandable. He's small, but then Soufal just came charging back and absolutely smashed into the bloke and floored him. Love that from Soufal backing up Earthy. I was going to say with Earthy, last season, I always felt that Moyes would just pick the senior players for the bench, and I'm pretty confident that's proven correct in that regards. I don't want to see that with Lopetegui. I want to see him pick his best bench. Sometimes last season with Moyes, we'd have an unbalanced bench. We'd have a lot of defenders and no attackers. Rather than having Earthy on there and leaving out one of your defenders, he would just pick the senior players. I don't want to see that. If he thinks Earthy is better than Maxwell Cornet, put Earthy on the bench and leave Cornet out. As harsh as it is, pick your best bench, have a balanced bench. That's something I want to see change this season. I'm quite optimistic it will, actually, because this game, he's put Earthy on, but he's not put on Cornet. He's not put on Ings, not put on Andy Irving. But yeah, he's put his young player on. I like it. Anyway, there's about 40 seconds left of the match.
Yeah. I don't know how long, because obviously it is, the levels that we're talking about are quite fast. Is Alvarez 3 weeks? 3 weeks out? I can't remember how long he's supposed to be out for.
I don't know.
I thought it was something like that. I could be completely making up, but I thought it was 3 weeks.
We'll go with 3 weeks.
Okay, good. We've agreed on something.
Yeah, I mean, a long range effort wide, and that should be full time, Nick.
I also don't know what time and date Zuma's medical is.
I mean, it was supposed to be like a couple of days ago / now. I'm confident he passes it, and I use the word passes very loosely. Very, very loosely. Yeah.
I mean, whatever gods and deities people do or don't believe in, we all need to really just pray to the god of functional knees that he's not asked to run or turn in any way.
All right then, full time penalty shootout. A bit more excitement for the 10,000 people that attended today. We'll see who's taking the spot kicks for West Ham. Fulkrug will be taking one. Fulkrug's penalties conversion rate is incredibly good. I had a look the other day because I don't remember Fulkrug ever missing a penalty. So I went and had a look, and he's taken. I might be slightly wrong here, but I'm not far off. I think he's taken 29 and scored 27. So he's got a really good conversion rate. So that's Fulkrug taking and missing a penalty today for West Ham. Ward Prowse used to take. I was never confident of him taking pens at Southampton for some reason. Earthy, I'd imagine, will have the desire. Somerville, perhaps. Anyway, huddles as they decide which players are going to decide the destiny of the Betway Cup. Can we win our own trophy, or will it be heading back to Spain?
Told you it's the Intertoto Cup Winners' Cup. I'm going to turn mine off because I'm so far behind. This is the worst way to watch penalties there is. So,
well,
I'm relying on your commentary I'm
Yes,
enjoy
I'll
my,
do the commentary, and then
Kirin Black.
you enjoy
nice.
your Chinese beer.
This is Japanese black beer. I'm being horribly fancy. I know you would disagree with that.
Doesn't matter. Brett says, promising first half for Paqueta and Rodriguez, not so good when they came off in the second half. Chippy says, why are they called penalties at the end? Because they're not awarded as a penalty for a foul. They're still penalties. I mean, if you want to argue about it, the handball's technically not a foul per se. It's an illegal move, but... David says, Villa will be licking their lips, 2 central midfielders, and I'm not sure about Rodriguez. Walsh says, awful second, but can't expect anything more given the state of that midfield. And Jake said, Souček and Ward-Prowse in midfield killed it. And Jennifer says, will Soufal finally score for us here with a penalty? I hope so. Let's get Soufal on the pen. Let's have fun. But it looks like Alan Craswell is going to take the first penalty for West Ham. As him and Fabianski head towards the goal in front of the Bobby Moore stand. Is it the Bobby? No, it's the it's the Bobby Moore stand. Checking my bearings there. They're off towards the Bobby Moore. Looks like Fabianski's going in goal, even though Craswell's taking it.
Fair comment from Lewis, and he's used the correct spelling of stationary there. So I just want to highlight, give a bit of the spelling respect.
Right, penalty time, Nick. It's time for the pens. Aaron Craswell up first for West Ham. Who's going to get the prestigious Betway Cup? It's Craswell into the bottom corner. Of course it is. Why would Craswell not score? Lovely pen. Keep it the wrong way. 1-0 West Ham. And Freddie, you missed the first half. The goal scorers on the screen, Bowen and Paqueta scored. And I suggest you go and have a look at both goals, because both were impressive in their own right. Time for the Celta Vigo's penalty. Now, I don't have any commentary on, so I cannot tell you whom is taking the penalties for Celta Vigo. So I'm just going to read out the numbers. It's number 6. Number 6 is taking the pen for Celta Vigo. Fabianski is taking this incredibly serious, and I like it. There's a man with a captain's armband who's determined to lift the Betway Cup. Number 6. Oh, what a crap pen. Great save by Fabianski. He did one of those stupid, skippy, jumpy pens, and Fabianski didn't fall for it. And if you hate the phrase double pivot, you hate the phrase low block, you will definitely hate this modern technique of the hop, skip, and jump. But number 6 tried it and got it wrong. Fabianski saved it. 1-0 West Ham. Ward-Prowse to take next. Who... I might be imagining things, Nick, but I can recall him missing for Southampton. I feel on more than one occasion. I don't know why. I've just got a feeling I've seen him quite timid at ends. Usually goes to the left-hand side. We will see. Here's James Ward-Prowse. Oh, that's a great pen, to be fair.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse says total penalties scored 20, total penalties missed 6.
Okay, I'm having that. That's it's a 1 in 5 missed is not the most reliable penalty kick taker, but that was a good pen by Ward-Prowse. Plenty of power behind it. Next up is number 30. And West Ham under 23s have just lost 4-3 to Club Bruges. Under 23s. Anyway, here comes number 30. He just blasts it into the back of the net as well. That was a nice penalty. I like that one. No messing. Socks down, white boots, smash it into the corner. A penalty fitting for somebody with socks and boots like that. Good pen. 2-1 West Ham. We're in the lead. We've taken the same pens, and it's Thomas Souček, who has, I believe, a good record. He had a good record for Prague and also has a good one for Czech. Was the penalty kick taker when we signed him. Thomas Souček steps up somewhat confidently and puts it down the middle of the goal and sends the keeper to the side. A confident penalty, no Soucopter from Thomas as he makes it 3-1.
Yeah, Souček's penalty record is 88.89%, and he's just improved it.
I don't think that one will count. Maybe it will, actually. It might do. I don't know.
If that helps us, shift him in the transfer window, that penalty.
That was a good penalty. Just dink down the middle of the pitch. Maybe.
Not quite sure what to
Peter,
make of that.
it's half and half, Peter. It's Club Brugge's under 23s. It's just because of the way the format is. Anyway, here comes the Füllkrug. Mr. Reliable from the spot in Bundesliga. He's surely scoring. I'm putting my house on it. The house is on Füllkrug to score. And I'm homeless. I've lost my house. The keeper saved it. I'm on the street. The guy with the best penalty record at West Ham, I think, has just missed.
Yeah, it's 95%.
Yeah, well, that was a crap penalty. He stopped. The keeper didn't fall for it. Tame effort. Good save.
That's good. Get it out of the way now.
And I'm in a corner. I'm in a cardboard box tonight. Nice one.
I'm not sure who gets your house in that bet. Someone would have had to take that bet on, unless you just give it to Füllkrug.
3-2 West Ham. However, they have a penalty in hand, and it's number 31, and he just blasts into the top corner. He ain't saving that. Anyway, that was a good pen. So that's what I expected Füllkrug to do.
So that's one miss each.
Pardon? Yeah,
that's one miss each.
Yeah, one miss each. 3-3. Last penalty before sudden death, and it looks like it's a Gerd stepping up to take this one.
I think he'll score.
I think he will.
I'm not going to bet my actual place of accommodation on that. Just going to guess.
Lovely goal. Slotted it into the bottom corner.
There we go. I should have bet on that. Rats.
Well, any hope Füllkrug had of becoming our penalty taker, I think he's just lost it. Anyway.
So it all comes down to this. Could go wild based on this.
I'm still waiting on my bet from Florless. People might have noticed he's the gobby one in the comments. And he said we wouldn't sign anyone and we'll get relegated. So I offered him two £50 bets. He took them. And since then, we've signed Somerville, Rodriguez, Füllkrug, and Todibo, and we're away signed Wan-Bissaka. And that's a good penalty by Celta Vigo geezer. So we're now on to sudden death. Anyway, Florless has not paid me the £50, and when I asked for it, he told me to get stuffed. So there's a man with testicles the size of chocolate M&Ms. So he's not commented in the last few days, so I think he's ran off. I'm sure he will reappear with a new username, however. But that's now 7 subscribers I've made a bet with, and I've won all 7. Not one of them have paid me. Right, Max Kilman. Here he comes, the £40 million man, Max Kilman. Down the middle of the goal. And West Ham lead once again in sudden death.
Yeah, I mean, your expectations of online, anonymous online commenting people.
I never expect.
It's not really a get rich quick scheme, is it?
I never expected them to pay. It's only the gobby ones that do it. So it's people that says we're not going to sign anyone. I said, well, go on then. Put your money where your mouth is. 50 quid. I said he could choose a stake.
But then are you setting yourself up for disappointment? And also, are you keeping a list? And will you make a video about them? Will you name and shame?
I don't
You
really
know,
name and
like,
shame
are you going to teach people something?
No, but if he comments in a future video, just ask him where my £50 is. Because he's a bit of a wind-up merchant. He's just overly, like, aggressively negative, and he's aggressively negative towards other people. But he's not personal, so he doesn't really break any rules as such. Anyway, Guilherme is stepping up to take this one. Here we go. Come on.
Here we go. Put us out of our misery. The Betway Cup, the worst cup on earth.
It's not. It's better. It's got more. Better than the Audi Cup. The one that Tottenham won. It's better than that one. That was a good pen by Guilherme. That was.
Yeah, but did you know, the Audi Cup just highlights the other things they have not won? So, kind of silver lining there.
Tell you what, if we get into a penalty shootout in the Carabao Cup, I'm feeling confident. But here comes number 25 for Celta Vigo. Here he comes. Fabianski bouncing. Oh, he's blazed it over. West Ham United have won the Betway Cup. Oh, it's just another trophy. It took Lopetegui 5 games to match the David Moyes silverware count. That's just a joke. Before anyone shouts, that's just a joke. There you go, West Ham United, Betway Cup.
It's all been worth it.
Champions.
Stick it in the cabinet. Take it to the bank.
Yeah, we will, Nick. We will. Anyway, a win. Kind of.
Champions of
our own cup.
Slightly questionable gambling app that has very mixed relationships with our players.
That's what we're putting it. Anyway, Nick, right then. Would you like to say take a minute to just round up anything, or you said everything you want to say?
What else is there to say on a victorious day such as this? Obviously, sleep soundly tonight, and I know everyone else will. But yeah, footballing wise, who knows? I stay very positive, and yeah, as you said in your video, Aston Villa could just give us a slap around the face and a very rude wake-up call. But who knows? Maybe we'll draw 3-3. It'll be a very entertaining game. So that's just what I'm waiting for, really, to see that, you know, in an actual competitive sense, after all the talk that we've had, what is going to happen when the whistle blows. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to next week.
Right then, we're ready to do some training on screen. Nick, on the right-hand side, you see where it says brand? We're ready to teach Nick how to click on the end slate. So do you see where it says brand? If you click on that.
Where it says what?
Brand.
Yeah, brand. This is great. This is the way to get viewers. Not enough people do kind of like a choppy coverage StreamYard thing.
Live on screen training for Nick. Don't worry, don't go away yet. I'm not finished my speech. I'm just getting Nick ready. Are you there? Are you on brand?
I'm on. Yeah, I'm on brand.
I've clicked something. It says border. It's highlighted. Yeah, can you see that?
I can also see that with my eyes.
And under that it says patron end slate. Do not click it, but can you see it? Right, brilliant. Once I'm finished, once I say, we'll catch you next time. Can you just click on that, right?
Oh God, I'll try.
Right.
Absolutely shitting myself.
There you go, West Ham United, Betway champions. Thank you very much for joining us. Nick's frozen. Hopefully, you can still hear me and click that button. Otherwise, this is going to be embarrassing. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to be live in about 1 minute with the review. It should be on your screen in a few seconds' time. But if not, just find us on the channel. If you've enjoyed this watch along, though, please do drop a like on it. Subscribe to Hammers Chat, myself and Nick. Catch you in a bit. He's broken. He's frozen and he's broken. I'm gonna have to click it.
I'm trying. I'm clicking.
Click
It's some clicking things. I'm clicking. I'm trying. Things are being clicked. There's a lot of clicking going on.
This is brilliant. I'm clicking it. We'll catch you in a bit.